Last week, 9 catches, 265 yards, guys, a couple of touchdowns. And we saw in those highlights his ability, what he brings to this offense. Speed. He's not a big guy. He's 5'11", a $165, but he can flat out fly. He can take the hitch 90. He can beat you over the top. Against TCU's pass defense, obviously this is a test, but he's emerging opposite of CeeDee Lamb and Mark Andrews as a big-time playmaker. Look for him to make some of those plays again.
He's a JC transfer, arrived on campus under 150 pounds. Who stands out on that TCU defensive line for you, Rob?
Unbelievable. Ben Banigou, he's put on a little bit of weight, and I'll tell you, opposing offenses don't like it. He's always in their backfield. 12.5 tackles for loss on the season, including 6.5 sacks. And look, this run defense has been tremendous over the last 4 weeks, giving up an average of just less than 27 yards. Baker Mayfield is going to have to throw today to win, and if he's going to throw, he's probably going to have Ben Banigou in his face a number of times.
Let's talk about Kenny Hill. You look at his numbers and what he did against Oklahoma last year, Coach. He's got success and a comfort level against them.
He does, you know, and he's much improved this year. Kenny Hill, obviously the starting quarterback, transferred to Oklahoma from Texas A&M. We talked about him improving even from last year. You know, he's thrown 15 touchdowns with only 5 interceptions. He's rushed for 2 touchdowns, so he's a dual-threat quarterback. He can make plays on his feet if he feels pressure. And the biggest improvement the coaches talk about is his decision-making. He's completing 68% of his passes. And last week's game, as an example, he completed passes to 8 different receivers.
But the nation's best passing attack on the opposite side, Crimson and Cream, Oklahoma, under 12 minutes away from kickoff on Fox. TCU, Oklahoma, the winner, should move into the top 4. Temperatures, high 40s, humid, threat of rain a little bit later tonight in Norman. He appears to be ready for this game. I don't know, just reading the nonverbals. On paper, this game says it's going to be Oklahoma's offense versus TCU's defense, but it takes the eye in the mind of a coach to find
special teams. I've been waiting for this all day for you guys. I'm looking at this situation. Oklahoma has struggled on special teams. Cavante Turpin, little return guy, 5'9", 153 for TCU. He's returned a punt for a kickoff and a kickoff return. Touchdown. Watch him.
Kenny Hill, you just talked about him, impact player, protect the football, convert on 3rd down. They're one of the best 3rd down teams in the nation. If they do that, they may have a chance in this game.
May have a chance. Well, they need to control the clock in this game. You stop the run. You run the ball yourself. Against Oklahoma State, they ran the ball 52 times, controlled the clock for almost 40 minutes in that game for TCU.
These two tied atop the Big 12 standings. The top seed at the end of the regular season hosts the Big 12 championship game. Who do you like in this one?
I like TCU. They're going to control that clock, 38-31.
You go.
Okay, I like TCU, 32-24. Special teams and field position will be the difference.
You guys know it's in Norman, right?
Yes, we do.
Oklahoma, 45-38. Best player in college football wins this game.
Feels like a more sensible number. Big 12 has been a lot of points,
it's a team game.
Chaos.
It's not golf.
Mark it down.
I know, you just told me about special teams. It's not
golf, okay? Football's a team game. Offense.
Is it round 1 of the Big 12 championship game? Find out with us. We'll see you next at halftime. Boy, a lot of upsets already. 2 from the top 10 have already fallen this week, and another one set to join them. For the call, Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt.
Welcome to Gaylord Family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman, and we've got one of the hottest games of the week for you. It's number 6 versus number 5, or number 5 versus number 6, however you want to call it. TCU, OU, it's about to go down right now, and one of these teams, the winner of this game, will have a chance on Tuesday to move into the top 4 in the college football playoff rankings by virtue of the loss, Georgia falling to Auburn today. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my partner, Joel Klatt. Welcome to Norman, partner. This feels like a serious playoff football game,
doesn't it?
Right now.
And that's because it is. You know, this is not a game that's really about the Big 12, because both of these teams, win or lose, are going to control their destiny to get to Dallas and play for the Big 12 championship. But it is a play-in game, or play-out game for the college football playoff. The winner's going to be in a good spot. The loser might be on the outside looking in. So we're looking at a de facto quarterfinal game here early in November. It's quite a game.
Well, if I'm Oklahoma, I especially feel good about what I'm doing on offense because they've got the magic man, the Heisman front runner, according to Las Vegas, folks.
That's right.
Baker Mayfield leading the way.
I tell you, man, this guy, he's amazing. He really is. He's playing the best football of anybody in America right now, but he's doing it with a great supporting cast. He's clearly got the arm, but now he's got Hollywood Brown on the outside, one of the fastest in the country, a very good tight end, and Mark Andrews. He can still use his feet, folks. He can hurt you that way, and then the stable of running backs, Rodney Anderson and Trey Sermon, all of that adds up to the #1 total offense in the country at just over 608 yards per game. They are, at this point, one of the most well-oiled machines on the offensive side that I've seen in a long time.
Oklahoma ready to come onto the field. The Sooners beat Oklahoma State 62-52 in Stillwater last week. Baker Mayfield threw for a school record 598 yards and accounted for 6 touchdowns as the Sooners amass close to 800 yards in total offense. They are fired up, ready to ball right now, and here comes OU. TCU, different story. Defensively under Gary Patterson, they've always been good, and they're ready to go at this Oklahoma offense tonight.
And they've returned to that dominant defense. They've always played good defense, but they've returned to that dominant defense, top 10 in the country, and they do that by being good front to back and inside out. Good rotation at the defensive tackle position that allows them to take up double teams and allow the second and third level players to come up and stop the run as free men, not blocked. They can rush the passer as well. Ben Banigou, one of the best in the Big 12. They can also put pressure on you in the blitz, and then they create tight windows for the quarterback to throw the ball down the field. All of that adds up to being one of the better defenses in the country. And folks, this is the matchup. Great defense, great offense. Let's get down in Norman.
In a series that dates back to 1944, Oklahoma leads at 11-5, and they've won 5 of the last 6. However, the Horned Frogs are ready for business tonight in Norman. OU TCU next on FOX.
There's a tradition and a legacy around here that's unlike any other. I came back here for a three-peat of the Big 12 and then ultimately to win a national title. This game, it's huge for us. TCU, they play well as a whole unit. They take advantage of mistakes that are made.
Mr. Everything, Kenny Hill.
Kenny's a guy that he's been through a lot of ups and downs similar to me. I can relate to him, so I know he's probably feeling the same way about this game. It's going to be a defining moment for him.
Here's the Magic Mayfield touchdown.
My job is to put our team in the best position to win.
Mayfield delivered.
And so whether that's scrambling to throw or scrambling to run, I'll do what I have to.
Look at the quick feet of the quarterback.
TCU, somebody that's always been a challenge for us the past couple of years. It's going to be an intense game. It's going to take all 4 quarters and everybody we have in this program to win this one.
Welcome back to Norman. TCU, Oklahoma, ready to battle. Time now for the best seat in the house. Sponsored by eBay. Fill your cart with color. Let's join the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Coach, you're going up against the nation's top offense. Baker Mayfield leading the way. What's the plan to slow them down early?
Well, I don't. You get number one, just don't let them have the ball. But key is you got to defend every shot, like you see in basketball. So everything they do, we got to defend. It's the run or the pass, and make them earn everything they get.
You told us your team playing with a chip on their shoulder. What are they out to prove tonight?
Well, no, we're trying to win a championship like we have every year. People don't understand TCU's been winning for a long time. So we're just glad to be in this situation at this time against a really good football team and see how it all turns out. Thank you.
All right, OU won the toss, deferred. TCU to receive. Since TCU joined the Big 12 in 2012, all 5 games between the 2 teams have been decided by 7 points or less. And the Horned Frogs will start from the 25. So when TCU has a football partner, what's the story?
You know, Kavontae Turpin is such a dangerous offensive player, and they have kept him healthy during the course of this early part of the season for this moment, for these November matchups. I think he's going to get an increased workload tonight against the Sooners. And on defense for them, there's some issues in the secondary. They're going to start Trey Norwood, the true freshman. He was on the field late last week against Oklahoma State. They've got a couple of safeties out, and this young secondary, they have got to tackle in space. That's going to be a huge key for them tonight.
First down and 10 of the 25 for TCU. Kyle Hicks, number 21, a terrific running back in the backfield with Kenny Hill. And on first down, they hand it off to Hicks. And Hicks will advance it up to the 30-yard line. Caleb Kelly with the tackle.
Justice Hill last week for Oklahoma State. And there's a flag down in the secondary. It looked like maybe some extracurricular activity there after the play. The officials will get together.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 9. That's a 15-yard penalty. The down counts. It's second down.
It's John Diarse.
John Diarse, and that's Trey Norwood, the true freshman. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That right hand right to the face mask. And what composure from the young corner, Trey Norwood, to not retaliate. Remember, it's always the second man. Norwood does a great job staying composed and not striking back.
So the penalty makes it second down and 20 at the 15. Hill on the play fake with time, dancing around, checks down. He finds Hicks. Hicks hits the sideline and crosses the 20 right in front of Chance Sylvie. So TCU beat Texas last week 24-7 in Fort Worth. Hicks scored twice, and the TCU defense sacked Shane Buechele 7 times.
This team really needs to stay out of these situations. They're one of the better teams on third down in the Big 12, but they often are not in these obvious passing situations.
Third down and 14. Here comes a blitz. Now Oklahoma backs out of it. Hill looking off his back foot and incomplete. Diarse, closest man to the football. Norwood covering. So with the penalty, this TCU team not playing well in their opening series. They'll punt it away.
Left part of your screen, Trey Norwood as the corner. He gets away with a little contact here right at the top of the route. Watch how he physical right there with Norwood, and then the safety comes over as well and gets away with a little contact, and the Sooners force a punt.
Adam Nunez in the punt from his own 7-yard line. C.D. Lamb is the deep man. He'll field it at the 39. Tries to get outside and does. Turns a corner, cuts it inside, still on the move, and finally he's wrapped up at the 44, a 39-yard punt and a 16-yard return. So Oklahoma with great field position, and Baker Mayfield ready to lead the offense for the first time tonight. And what's the story when OU has the ball?
It's about number 6, the Magic Man. As you've coined him, partner. This guy was sensational a week ago, 598 yards, set the Oklahoma school record, and he has been sensational really for 3 seasons. This has been his best year, though, and he's got the most weapons at his disposal. We'll talk about those more as the night goes along, but he's going against one of the best defenses that he's faced all year long, and they are really led by Ben Banigou. Ben Banigou is a guy that transferred from Louisiana Monroe, had to sit out last year, and he has been a force rushing the quarterback. That's allowed them to be a great defense, allowing only 13.9 points per game. That's 6th best in college football.
Looks like an injured player down right now. And that is Alec Dunham, the junior from Cold Spring, Texas.
Special teams always plays a huge factor, and we want to see those guys.
Coach Patterson will walk out. I tell you, I heard some people last week, a couple of weeks ago, just watching the games leading up to this game, and they referred to Gary Patterson as the Bill Belichick of college football. And I love that comparison for him.
You know, he
seems to be so unsung at times.
Yes, he is. And I will tell you this, though, that this guy has built a program in Fort Worth that has been the most successful program in the state of Texas since he took over. And that's including the A&Ms and the Texases of the world. It's like he's walking off under his own power, which is a good sign there. But this Patterson-led Frogs team has always been about defense as Alec Dunham works his way off the field. And Patterson's got one of those defenses this year. And when he has one of those defenses that he can dominate the line of scrimmage, they usually not only compete for but win championships, whether it was back in Conference USA or the Mountain West Conference or even in the Big 12.
We will see how good the defense is today, taking on Baker Mayfield and this high-powered Oklahoma offense, who will start their first series with great field position at the TCU 44, first down. Rodney Anderson in the backfield. Play fake. Mayfield going deep on first down. And incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and what a game he's coming off of.
Yeah, really good coverage, and he was sensational last week, Hollywood Brown, and he's got some jets, folks. I mean, he's one of the fastest players on the field, but that's an excellent job by Ranthony Tejada, 5'10", 170 pounds, a senior from Frisco, Texas. This is a guy that is very good and smart in coverage, understands leverage, and you saw it play out on that play.
Second down and 10 at the 44. Anderson in motion out of the backfield. Mayfield looks that way. Now Mayfield dancing over the middle. Andrews is big tight end with the reception as Nico Small brings him down, and that's a gain of 9.
What you love from Baker Mayfield is the ability to manipulate the pocket and then find lanes to throw down the field. Watch him find a space, and then he gets to his tight end, and he creates an easy third down opportunity. That's what makes him so dangerous and why he's playing so efficiently right now.
Andrews, 40th catch of the year. He leads this team in receptions. Third down and 1 at the 35. Anderson straight ahead looking for the first down, and I don't think he got it. His forward progress may give it to him, but the middle of that TCU defense willing and ready.
Their defensive tackles have been so good in the middle of that defense, and that's big number 90, Ross
the ball
Blacklock.
carrier's forward progress had ended. We'll spot the ball and measure for a first down.
Blacklock number 90 right in the middle of your screen. He's the one that kind of stops everything up. I don't think he got there. Now, where they ended up spotting the ball, it looks like the nose of the ball is going to be right about that 34-yard line.
Now they call this front line for TCU the Killer Bees. How about these names, folks? Ben Banigou, Chris Bradley, Ross Blacklock, Matt Boson, as well as Corey Bethley and Joseph Broadnax backing him up.
And there we go, and the Killer Bees stuff the third down run and force a fourth down decision for Lincoln Riley on OU's opening series. Got to assume with this field position and as aggressive as Lincoln Riley is, that this offense is going to come back onto the field. And they have been pretty good in the short yardage during the course of the season as well. Don't be surprised if Mayfield's under center here. They go with their big personnel. Remember that offensive line, one of the most experienced in all of college football.
So they send the offense back onto the field. Dimitri Flowers in the game, as well as, and they run it straight ahead and get the first down.
Well, I don't know what TCU was waiting for there, because OU was ready for them and they were not set, speaking of the defense, and Mayfield understood it. He just said, hey, I'm going to snap this ball and dive for the first down. That's a heads-up play from a veteran quarterback.
Opening series for Oklahoma. First down and 10 now at the TCU 32. Mayfield looking underneath, This ball caught. Michael Jones tries to get outside, but he does not, as Howard brings him down.
Traven Howard, I tell you what, he's one of the best open field tacklers I've seen on film all year long. This is only a guy that's about 212 pounds. He's really more of a safety. That's what makes him so effective in that spot as a linebacker.
Second down and 10 at the 32. Anderson remains in the game as the single setback. Mayfield over the middle, guns it, ball deflected, incomplete. Andrews, the intended receiver, but TCU, Nico Small, Johnny on the spot.
This is a great job by Nico Small. Watch this Nico Small. He's right here in the middle of your screen, and he's going to go right over the back of Andrews and get his arm into that throwing lane and bat the ball away while not causing contact early. Excellent job by Nico Small, one of the best defenders TCU has.
Third down and 10 at the 32. Sooners need to go to the TCU 22 for a first down. Baker Mayfield under pressure. Fires and incomplete. That one thrown a tad high for C.D. Lamb. And that brings up 4th and 10. Jeff Gladney defensively for the Horned Frogs.
Well, what you're going to get here is that the linebacker is going to get totally cleared out of the zone. That's number 42, Ty Summers. And as he clears out, Mayfield's trying to attack that area, but just a little bit too high for C.D. Lamb, who's unable to get it down and bring it down for a first down for the Sooners.
So Seibert in to attempt a 49-yarder. His career long is 46 as a freshman against Kansas in 2015. Clean snap, good hold, got it up. Pure. Oklahoma gets on the board first. 3-zip. Back after this. Fox College Football is sponsored by the 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. And by Dr. Pepper, the one fans crave. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. Sooners ranked 5th in the nation, taking on the 6th-ranked TCU Horned Frogs, 3-0 now. As Baker Mayfield sits next to Marquise Brown, young man from Hollywood, Florida, coming off a huge game, almost 300 yards in receiving to break the school record last week in Stillwater against Oklahoma State. He's electric.
Did you call him Marquise?
Yes, I did.
Hey, man, you know even he goes by Hollywood. He changed that officially on Twitter.
And I guess if it's on Twitter, that means it's real.
Of course, it's 100% true then, right?
That's right. Seibert sends it away. Devontae Turpin back deep, and this one kicked out of the end zone. Tomorrow, it's an NFL doubleheader on Fox, starting with an NFC North rivalry between the Packers and the Bears. Then, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys take their high-octane offense to hot Atlanta in a showdown with Matt Ryan and the Falcons. The action kicks off at 1 Eastern, followed by America's Game of the Week at 4 Eastern on Fox. Check local listings for the games in your area. Horned Frogs back on the field. 1st and 10 at the 25. Last year in Fort Worth, OU won this game 52-46. Kenny Hill. And Hill to throw it. Hill with the receiver. That's Hicks open. Hits the sideline. Cuts it back inside. Watch out. Kyle Hicks. Can he get there? Almost down at the OU 11. That's a 63-yard run. Caleb Kelly with the saving tackle.
They're going to take advantage of Obo Okoronkwo as the outside linebacker. He's supposed to peel out in coverage. He's got a man-to-man and was late. Great throw by Hill. Hits him in stride, and Hicks does the rest, getting all the way down inside the 15.
Last year against Oklahoma, Hill threw for 449 yards and 5 touchdowns. 1st down and 10 at the 13. Darius Anderson in the game at running back. He'll find a space, keep it moving, and get into the end zone. Touchdown, TCU.
drive. And how about the block here from the left guard? He's going to be coming all the way down the line of scrimmage. And Cordell Iwagwu, he's the one who goes all the way up and gets 91. There's the block. There's the seam. And he's able to get it all the way into the end zone. What a drive. Big play to Hicks. And Anderson punches it in.
Extra point up and good. TCU 4 plays. Make that 2 plays covering 75 yards. They score in 42 seconds. 7 points on the board now for the Horned Frogs. 7-3, our score. Horned Frogs with a 7-3 advantage over Oklahoma. As you take a look at the scoring drive, the big play by this man, Kyle Hicks, a 62-yard reception. And capped off by Darius Anderson's touchdown run.
Tip of cap to that offensive line. Did a great job on that touchdown run, opening that hole, and that was a quick answer to the first score from OU.
Marcelius Sutton, the deep man. He'll get a shot from his own 5. And gets to the 20 before he's chopped down. Looks like Anderson got him on special teams. Let's take a look at our Ford Unstoppable partner.
It's Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. Last week, he was electric. This play right here, take a little under route, and then he looked like he was shot out of a cannon. One of the fastest players I've seen on the football field in a long time. They say he's even a step, maybe a step and a half faster than D.D. Westbrook, who won the Biletnikoff Award last year for Oklahoma. 265 yards receiving last week, 9 catches. 2 touchdown catches of over 75 yards on the day. It was just a remarkable outing for number 5.
Let's see what he does today, if he can live up to that name. Hollywood, 1st and 10 of the 21. Here's a handoff. Anderson looking, nothing. He'll be lucky to get a yard on the play. Well defended as Ty Summers, first man to him, number 42.
Well, Ty Summers, he's played a lot of football for Gary Patterson. He is a junior from San Antonio. He's 6'2", 242 pounds. What I love about Summers, he can go down and play defensive end. He can come back and play linebacker. Perfect hybrid style of player for Patterson.
2nd and 9 of the 22. Play fake. Mayfield finds Brown on the wheel route, and Brown wrapped up immediately by Isahaku. And that will be a gain of 6 yards.
That's a kind of a picture of exactly why TCU is so good on defense, is because even when they get beat, right, and get out of position, it looks like Brown's got the edge. Look at the closing speed from Isahaku, and then the sure tackling. It prevents a first down and forces OU to snap it on 3rd.
3rd down and 3 for Baker Mayfield and the OU offense. Mayfield over the middle, caught. This is C.D. Lamb in space, hits the sideline, turns on the afterburners with the stiff arm and gets out of bounds at the 25. A 46-yard gain for the freshman from Richmond, Texas.
There's no quarterback in the Big 12 that is better against the blitz than Baker Mayfield. 69% and a rating of 200. So blitz at your own peril, and that's why. He finds the crease, throws an accurate ball to a fast wide receiver, and C.D. Lamb is off to the races.
So a 46-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 26. Andrews the motion man. Mayfield, play action, rolls out of the pocket, throws on the move, goes up the field. Touchdown OU, Michael Jones. And they certainly will be taking a look at this one.
No doubt about it, because there was certainly a bobble late. Right here in the fingertips, now tries to gain possession as he goes to the ground.
Is a completed catch for a touchdown.
I don't think that one's going to stand.
The play is under further review.
Remember now, the process, you have to gain control, then get a body part down inbounds and then maintain control throughout the process of going to the ground. I just don't think he had that control before he hit the sideline and hit that boundary line. So, well, looks good right now. I certainly think that this will be coming back the other way after that first look that we just saw.
Michael Jones from Patterson, Louisiana. That's the New Orleans area. Roommates with Marquise Brown.
See that bobble just at the end. There wasn't control gained to the ball by Michael Jones before he hit out of bounds. Right there, if he would have controlled it there, but there's still bobbling going on, not control yet, so a pretty easy review for this crew in their first one of the night.
And if this is reversed, it will bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 26.
After further review, the receiver did not maintain control through the entire process. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. The clock will start on the snap.
You know, that's one of those things in an environment like this, right? Even Baker Mayfield, who has been in so many environments, you can be just a little pumped up as a quarterback. And when you're rolling to your right, running with the throw, the tendency is just a little bit of an overthrow, and I think that's what got him. It was still a good throw. Certainly should have been caught, but it comes back to bite him, and it'll be 2nd down.
From the 26, Anderson motions out of the backfield. Mayfield fires it over the middle, and it's a 1st down. Andrews finding a soft spot.
What they're attacking here is, watch the linebackers for TCU. They immediately turn and look up the wide receivers, and they allow those zones to be vacated behind them. And Oklahoma is trying to attack that area of the field almost on a snap in and snap out basis right now.
11-yard gain, 1st down at the 15 for the Sooners. Lamb crosses. Anderson, touchdown, Oklahoma.
Check out the block by Bobby Evans. He's going to come all the way around. He's going to pull around the formation along with the guard, Samia. And there's the block right there, just enough that it allows Anderson to get the outside and run easy for a touchdown.
Seibert comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. 10-7, first quarter, 8:41 to go. Take a look at how USAA and Team Rubicon are teaming up to honor our nation's service members this Veterans Day, and how you can help. (10-7) Oklahoma on top of TCU here in the first quarter, as Rodney Anderson finds pay dirt, scores a touchdown. Sooners reclaim the lead.
Well, and it was really that play to CeeDee Lamb, that long play that set up the touchdown, and that's where Gary Patterson's going to have to be careful, because when you blitz Baker Mayfield, he makes you pay. He's one of the best in America just in general, but in particular when the defense blitzes, and CeeDee Lamb did a nice job of catching that ball on the run and getting all the way down into scoring position.
Seibert ready to kick it off. Cavante Turpin, Jalen Rager are the deep men, and they won't get an opportunity. Now on Monday, Baker Mayfield had an important message for Oklahoma fans regarding tonight's game. His message is our craveable moment, sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
You know, being at one of the last home games we're going to have, and it's important to our college football playoff run. Going to call out our fans. It's going to be an important one for us. When I hear any talk about the 2008 Texas Tech game, this needs to be the new talk for the future. This crowd needs to be going.
Well, when you get encouragement like that from your quarterback, I tell you what, and they've shown up. I walked the field about an hour before kick. I was out there until about 30 minutes before kick, and it was electric on the field at that time, and it certainly has maintained that throughout this first part of the game.
TCU back on offense. First down and 10 at their own 25. Hicks standing behind Kenny Hill. And they'll give it to him. Breaks it back inside with running room, and he'll get a first down. And we saw this last week with Oklahoma State against Oklahoma. Oklahoma State did a great job of cutting the ball back when they ran left.
Yeah, this is a defense that struggles tackling in space, and that cutback lean is where Justice Hill for Oklahoma State hurt him last week.
Hill rolling out of the pocket, throws across the field and has his receiver. This time it's Turpin, turns on the speed and goes down inside the Oklahoma 25. That's a 40-yard gain.
They just lost him in coverage, a little play action, and then Turpin's wide open in the middle of the field. Hill makes the easy throw, and he was off to the races.
First down to the 25. Hill dances out of the pocket, squares his shoulders, now decides to run it, and picks up another first down. Kenny Hill, the Texas A&M transfer.
I think that's been the difference in his game this year to last. Hill struggled with turnovers last year, and part of the reason was because he was sitting in the pocket and trying to force the football down the field. This year, while he's not running for as many yards per game, he's actually taking the yards that they give him. So about 17 yards per game he's running for, but they happen in big moments, in particular when the defense breaks down and he sees an opportunity to go run for a first down.
Kenny Hill, the man that followed Johnny Football at Texas A&M. First down at the 15. Anderson. And Anderson crawls his way inside the 10. Neville Gallimore defensively for OU.
Well, and he's back from injury. Number 90, Neville Gallimore, is a big one for OU.
2nd and 5. Quick strike and incomplete. Jalen Austin, the intended receiver.
Now, this tempo is very quick for TCU. You can see that their game plan, really all year, they've protected their defense at times, played a little bit more conservative than they had in the last couple of years. But Sonny Cumbie told us last night that he knew that they were going to have to score points and they were going to have to be as aggressive as they have been all season long. And we're seeing that here in the first quarter.
3rd down and 5 at the 10. Olanalua in at running back for the Horned Frogs. They give it to him straight ahead, and he won't pick up the first down. Tripped up at the bottom of the pile. Looks like Marquez Overton got him, along with DJ Ward.
DJ Ward did a great job of closing down from that end position, and he's the one that made first contact. They were able to stop him there short of the first down and force this field goal opportunity. Nice job from that defense.
So TCU will settle for a field goal attempt. Jonathan Song in to attempt a field goal from 25 yards away. Oh, actually make that graph as Gary Patterson elects to switch his kickers.
False start. Kicking team, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Try for point.
That's interesting. Graf's not even on the roster.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you.
Not on the 2 deep, not on the roster, and he runs out to attempt the first field goal of the day. And Jonathan Song is a guy that is 8 for 8 on field goals this season. You got to assume that there's something wrong, or else why would Graf be on the field, a guy that's not even on the roster?
Here's Graf in to attempt a 30-yarder now. And he missed it. Horned Frogs come up empty. 10-7. Fox College Football is sponsored by Coors Light. The key to a good offense is a refreshing defense. Climb on. And by King's Hawaiian Foods. Irresistible since 1950. And that's a great Billy Sims standing in front of his statue. Heisman Trophy winning running back here at Oklahoma. Longtime member of the Detroit Lions. 10-7, OU.
Gotta wonder, don't you? See a statue, you see a Heisman winner for this school and that logo, and then number 6 trots on the field. Folks, this guy's been the best player in America this year. I know Bryce Love had a great night a night ago, but Baker Mayfield clearly in the lead right now when it comes to that trophy.
First down and 10 at the 20. Mayfield looks backside, steps up in the pocket, delivers underneath to Andrews. He'll pick up a couple of yards, Mark Andrews, as he's stopped by Nico Small.
It's really difficult to run a screen pass against this TCU defense because of how fast they are. At the second and third level, Gary Patterson told us his linebackers, all of them run in the 4-5s. He doesn't have any running backs that run 4-6 or above. So they can run, they can tackle. That's why it's tough to run those screen passes.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 at the 23. Mayfield drops it off. Anderson wide open. Plenty of running room. Anderson cuts it inside at the 40. Follows C.D. Lamb and finally knocked out of bounds at the TCU 30-yard line by Nico Small. That's a 47-yard gain.
You're going to see Anderson. He's going to come up like he's going to block, but then he actually takes off in the route. There's a corner blitz from the left side. Anderson fakes the block, and then he just releases down the field. Mayfield sees it, hits Anderson, and it's a big gain for OU. And again, TCU getting burned when they're trying to bring pressure and blitz Baker Mayfield.
So a first down at the 31. Mayfield looks backside, guns it underneath, has his receiver, Michael Jones. Another first down for Oklahoma. Jones taken down by Nick Orr, as well as Arico Evans, but that's an 18-yard pickup. And the Sooners at their line of scrimmage quickly.
Too many threats on the outside, and one of the great point guards out there at quarterback.
And he'll hand it off to Anderson, dragged down from behind. And Banagou makes the tackle. No gain on the play.
And slow to get up right now. That looks like 75 Drew Samia, the right guard. He had to leave last week's game. And he is in pain and trying to line up right now and fight through it and play on this snap. Interesting to see how effective he'll be right now at the right guard spot.
2nd down and 10. Mayfield in the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Calcutta, touchdown, OU. Grant Calcutta one up and just ripped it down.
I mean, two things here. One, you got Samia fighting the injury, and he's going to fight through it and get a great block right in front of Mayfield. And then Mayfield drops a beautiful ball right on top of the linebackers, high enough for Calcaterra to go up there and get it. And he's able to get it and a foot in bounds. What an amazing play right there from Mayfield and Calcaterra. Wow.
Grant Calcaterra, only his 4th catch of the year. And Oklahoma with an opportunity to take a 17-7 lead. Excited and good. 17-7, 3:54 to play in the first. Baker Mayfield putting it on the money. Grant Calcaterra from Rancho Santa Margarita, California, a freshman. Big-time touchdown, showing great hands and dexterity to get a foot in. 5 plays covering 80 yards. And the Sooners score in 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
And he's here to kind of take over for Mark Andrews. You know, as Andrews is getting to be an elder statesman, Calcaterra, the #2 tight end in the country, coming out of high school last year.
And this ball kicked deep again out of the end zone. Now let's go to Los Angeles and check in with Greg Wolf.
Gus, thanks. Notre Dame, Miami, first meeting with both ranked in the top 10 since 1987. Malik Rozier, far corner of the end zone. finds Braxton Berrios 7-yard touchdown. Brandon Wimbush was just picked off. Hurricanes have scored again. They lead 13-0 first quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Man, I keep doubting the Canes, and they just keep proving me wrong, don't they? They got that swag back. They got that U bag, that U swag.
What's that chain they hang on the players' necks?
The turnover chain?
Yeah, I like that.
We call down there and try to borrow it.
First down and 10 to the 25 for TCU. And it's Anderson. Darius Anderson gets close to the 30. Gallimore plugging up the hole and bringing him down.
And they were really excited to get Gallimore back. This is a guy that has been banged up, has not played a lot over the course of the last month, but getting him back at 310 pounds, they felt like was going to help their run defense and help their linebackers in particular play without traffic in front of them. And so far, he's been pretty good tonight.
Second down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. And they'll hand it off to Anderson running right. Gets through the hole close to the first down. Caleb Kelly, first man to him as he grabbed his ankle and pulled him down. Gallimore cleans it up.
Yeah, but they create a short third down situation. And this is where TCU has lived all year long, is third and short. And that's one of the reasons why they've been one of the best teams in the country converting on third down. They're number 1 in the Big 12, 6th in the country, converting about 50% of the time. This is a big one here. You do not want to punt the ball away to Baker Mayfield in that offense after the rhythm that they've established in the last 2 series.
Third down and 1 at the 34. Anderson, the pistol back, behind Hill. Looking for the first down. He has it as Anderson spins down. Caleb Kelly tackles him, but after a 4-yard gain.
Nice aggressive run from Anderson. I'm really impressed with Darius Anderson. I know a lot of the NFL scouts are impressed with Darius Anderson as well. Just a sophomore, 5'11", 205 pounds, but he's got that unique ability to be aggressive through the hole and cut upfield and not backfield. Does a great job getting skinny and getting tough yardage.
Anderson had a 160-yard, 3-touchdown game against Oklahoma State in early October. Hill running. And he fires it to the wide side. It's incomplete. Jalen Rager just couldn't hold on.
And they had him too. Hill executed perfectly. They got Obo Okoronkwo in a bind. He doesn't know if he wants to go with the wide receiver or take Kenny Hill as he's running out of the backfield. And then Hill just put a little too much mustard on it on the outside. And Rager, the freshman, was unable to bring it down.
Second down and 10. Kenny Hill looking, throwing, and incomplete as he throws that one out of bounds. Closest man, Kavontae Turpin, to the football. And that will bring up a third down and long for the Horned Frogs.
Robert Barnes in coverage, the true freshman, 6'2", 196, forced into playing because Will Johnson, the normal free safety, was ejected late last week against Oklahoma State. And Barnes comes up with a nice stop there, forcing a third and obvious. These are the passing situations that Obo Okoronkwo normally shows out in. Gary Patterson knew it. They know they've got to get extra blockers on number 31 side.
Okoronkwo with 8 sacks on the season. He had 2 last week against Oklahoma State. Here's Hill looking. Olanalua cuts it back, bottled up, and taken down short of the line to gain. DJ Ward in hot pursuit. Kenneth Murray in there as well.
Well, that's great pursuit from Oklahoma. They're trying to get a little bit of a swing pass right on Okoronkwo's side. That's how you negate his pass rush. Here's what happens right now. All the Oklahoma players are now pursuing to the football as fast as they possibly can, and check out all the crimson hats diving in to make the tackle. That's great defense.
Adam Nunez comes in to punt it away. From the 27, C.D. Lamb is the deep man. And he has it at the 25. So Baker Mayfield comes back on the field, and with that last touchdown pass, Baker Mayfield ties the record for most consecutive touchdown passes in Big 12 history with Graham Harrell.
36. That's just incredible. Every single game of his Oklahoma career after transferring from Texas Tech. Remember, began his career as a Tech walk-on. Played for Cliff Kingsbury in Kingsbury's first year at Tech and ended up coming here to Oklahoma. And he has been so good since. Hasn't lost a true road game. Set the FBS record for efficiency a year ago, and all he's done is outdo this year. And in November, he's playing some of his best football right now.
The winningest active quarterback in the nation with a 35-7 record. They check it down. Jones, quick feet. And he'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Traven Howard with the tackle.
Good block on the outside, but those plays right there, they're designed to create this situation. Kind of a second and medium in order to take a shot or do something creative.
Now Abdul Adams in the game at running back. Mayfield going through his progressions. Now decides to run it, and a first down OU.
Okay, this guy works through his progressions really quickly, and he makes sure he's got eyes on 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden he sees a lane. Lincoln Riley is a play caller. That is just great insurance, right? You have a quarterback that's going to make great decisions, and when he needs to, can pick up a first down with his feet.
First down at the 36 now for Oklahoma. Adams and Sermon in the backfield. And they'll hand it off. Abdul Adams. And that could be the last play of the first quarter. And an exciting quarter it was. 17-7. Oklahoma with the lead and the ball. Back to Norman right after this. Oklahoma scoring 17 points in the first quarter against TCU. The most points allowed by this Horned Frog defense in any quarter this year, 17 points. The previous high was 16 against SMU.
This defense only allowing about 14 points per game. Patterson knew this was going to be a challenge. Listen, there's a reason that this is the #1 offense in America, and there's so many weapons, and the guy driving the car is pretty special as well.
186 yards in total offense in the first quarter. 2nd and 8 at the 38. Adams and Sermon in the backfield. And Mayfield fumbles the ball and somehow dived on it. Gets a very lucky bounce, Baker Mayfield.
He's coming up hobbling. He got hit on that right leg.
Isahaku almost coming up with the fumble recovery, and he was jolted by Chris Bradley.
Yeah, look at that leg get kind of caught up as Mayfield tried to bend down and pick that ball up, and that's why he's slow. And he is hobbled back there in the pocket. He can hardly put any weight right now on that right foot.
3rd down and 10 at the 36. Mayfield guns it, and incomplete. And that one thrown behind C.D. Lamb.
All your velocity as a quarterback comes from your back leg and back hip. If you can't put that power and that leverage back into the ground with your foot, the ball is going to be short and towards the ground. It's always going to be behind the wide receiver. So as soon as Mayfield comes up and tries to put that power from the right hip into his throw, it wasn't there. That's why the ball tails down towards the field, and an incompletion ensues.
So Austin Seibert will punt it for the first time tonight from his own 22. Kavontae Turpin is the deep man. Turpin coming up with the fair catch at the 33. And we'll stay right here. 14:02 to play. Second quarter. 17-7. They're taking a look at Mayfield on the Oklahoma bench. Let's take one more look at the play.
Well, they're just trying kind of that zone read type style of run play, and he's trying to run the ball himself because of that tackler that you saw in the backfield, and then just gets drilled right on that leg. And you wonder if that knee got caught up in there or it was the ankle down below, but either way, that right leg gets bent back. A position that you do not want to see, and you see as he gets up, he can hardly move that right leg. Then the ensuing throws well behind the wide receiver. His worst throw he may be thrown in 2 years.
So a first down and 10 at the 32 for Kenny Hill and TCU. Down 17-7. Here's Hill. Sideline. Incomplete. Diarce, the intended receiver. And that one goes right through his hands.
It's a good throw, but Norwood did a great job of closing and breaking that ball up. Norwood so far having a nice night. This group of corners have been much maligned during the course of the season, and Norwood's looking in there and trying to change the narrative of his true freshman in his first start.
2nd and 10. Hill drops back. Dancing. Hill. And he's dragged down and sacked. Look at these Sooners this time. It's Devontae Lampkin.
This is just straight bull rush. I mean, amazing bull rush right up the middle of the field. Watch Lampkin take the center, number 51, Austin Schlottman, right into the lap of Hill. Then he comes off the block and brings Hill to the ground. That's great effort right there. Lampkin does it alone, getting the sack.
Redshirt sophomore from Houston, Texas, 3rd and 20. After the 10-yard loss, Hicks back in. At running back, Hill. Over the middle. Incomplete. Broken up, though. Looks like it's Norwood again. Trey Norwood, the freshman from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Knocks that one down.
And Diarce had to turn into the defensive back 9. Diarce is going to go out to the corner. Hill throws it a little bit late. Norwood does a great job breaking under the route, gets his hands on the football, and Diarce had to pull that right arm down, or that would have been an interception. How about Trey Norwood? First start trying to change that narrative. Well done.
So TCU to punt it again for the 3rd time. CD Lamb signals for the fair catch and has it at the 31. So coming up, we'll find out if Baker Mayfield is okay. He's got his hat, walking on the field. And check out the Go RVing sights and sounds from the amazing atmosphere here in Norman at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium.
I love what they call this place. Talk to the people from around here. They say that this stadium is the Palace on the Prairie. Well, we'll see how healthy Mayfield is. You know, it helps him that he is a former baseball player. And it helps him that he can throw with just his arm. Now, in order to do that, he may have to drop down a little bit 3/4 and not throw over the top. That's what you're going to be looking for here now with that right leg banged up from the last series.
First down and 10 at the 31. And they'll stay on the ground this time with Sermon, and he'll go backwards. Well defended as Ross Blacklock and Matt Boson come up with the play. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
And Joel, you just mentioned it. It was that right leg that was causing some discomfort for Baker Mayfield. They were massaging his right calf. He stayed seated that whole time, but he popped right up telling his guys, I'm good to go.
All right, 2nd down and 10. And option it to Mayfield. He looks backside. Incomplete. Anderson could have had it, but a flag on the play. Nick Orr covering for TCU.
There's another late flag. There was a couple of OU players that looked like they were blocking Matt Boson on the ground. They might have been a little bit too aggressive after the play was over, and that's what the officials are talking about. Looked like Boson, number 9, was kind of pinned down under 2 Sooners, and he started kind of kicking to try to get free. Be interesting what they come up with here.
They call Boson Sunshine, his teammates, because he is from Torrance, California.
After the play, personal foul, striking, kicking by number 9 of the offense. He kicked an opponent. That's a 15-yard penalty, and by rule, number 9 has disqualified himself from the game.
Wow. Well, here's the problem, though. He just pointed the wrong direction. He's talking about the defense. He pointed to the offense. He meant the defense. And that is a huge loss if Boson is having to leave the field now as a great defensive end. 5 sacks on the year, a senior. He's 6'4", 240 pounds.
disqualified himself from the game. A 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch the left side of your screen as the camera pans over. Right about now, you're going to see the Oklahoma players as they're trying to get up, and Bosen starts to kind of flail around with the official right there, and he started to kind of kick his way free. After the conference, they decide to eject Matt Bosen from the game. That was, wow, I tell you what a huge development. Bosen is a big piece of what they do on defense, and now going to have to go down the depth chart and bring some more guys. Look for Ty Summers to play a bigger part now of what they've got going on in the defensive line.
He's listed as Bosen's backup. First down and 10 at the 46 for Oklahoma. Mayfield gives it to Anderson. Anderson, first down, Anderson. And he finally is chopped out close to the TCU 20 by Jeff Gladney. A 30-yard gain.
Eric Wren, great block by the center. He's the one that got the linebacker. Traven Howard blocked up the second level and allowed that big run to happen from Anderson. Anderson does a great job. This guy is a big back, and he does an excellent job of allowing those second level blocks to take place. And that's just patience in the hole, allowing the offensive lineman to get up to the second level and then cutting off of it.
Anderson, 6'2", 218 pounds. First down and 10 to the 24. Anderson again. Anderson with room. Touchdown Sooners. 24 yards. Rodney Anderson. His second touchdown of the first half.
Well, you're going to get a great block right here. This is Brown, but then as Anderson comes through the line of scrimmage, he's going to be one-on-one with Nico Small, the safety. And at that point, he breaks the tackle here, and at that point, he cuts back on Nico Small. Small misses the tackle, and it's touchdown Sooners.
Cyber comes in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. Rodney Anderson, 3 straight 100-yard games. He's got 70 yards rushing on 6 carries so far, but more importantly, Oklahoma dominating TCU 24-7. Fox College Football is sponsored by Merrill Lynch. We're bullish on the future. Yours. 24-7 OU on top of TCU. There's the Heisman room on the Oklahoma campus. Anderson, big touchdown. His second of the game rushing. And the Sooners will send it away. Trouble now. Major trouble for TCU. Turpin, Rager are deep. And this one will be brought out of the end zone by Turpin. And a steam pops it free. Still moving, and he'll get deep into OU territory. Terrific kickoff return, 56 yards. Stephen Parker brings him down. So here come the Horned Frogs back on offense. In the meantime, let's go to Los Angeles and check in with Greg Wolf.
Gus, thanks. Number 1 has already lost today. Number 2, Alabama, trailing in Starkville. Nick Fitzgerald keeps it himself, plows into the end zone. He has 26 total touchdowns this season. Number 16, Mississippi State, leading Bama 21-17, third quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
That's a huge development. Remember, Alabama, they've lost 4 linebackers to significant injuries this season, and Minka Fitzpatrick was not totally healthy going into this ball game. That's the heart and soul of that team. Not too shocking that they're in a struggle.
On first down, Kenny Hill throws to Diarce on the sideline. So how about the developments today? The number 1 team in the country, Georgia, losing to Auburn. Alabama, the number 2 team in the country, in a dogfight with Mississippi State.
Those were the 2 that were kind of above reproach all season, right? I mean, everyone's just kind of assuming, well, they'll meet as undefeateds in the SEC championship game. And as is the case every year in college football, November is when crazy things happen, and this is when championships are won.
And Hicks gets outside. Flag on the play. We also have to mention number 3 Notre Dame down on the road at Miami.
I think they're going to get a hold here.
Offense, number 51. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That's Austin Schlottman. He's the center. And watch right here as the play is going to the offense's left. He's just going to take big number 97 and drag him down to the ground. That's Marquise Overton, sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good call by the official there, and it creates another one of these situations where Kenny Hill is in an obvious passing down and distance.
Second down and 14 at the 48. Hill rolls out of the pocket, stops, steps up. Hill with a blocker now, using his legs. Hill still on his feet and is finally tackled at the Oklahoma 29-yard line. Okoronkwo with the tackle after an 18-yard gain.
Yeah, Hill did a great job initially of avoiding the rush. It was right in his face. He's able to slip away and find green grass, that cutback lane. He uses his feet for a huge conversion and moves the chains.
First down at the OU 30. Darius Anderson in at running back. He's the pistol. They give it to him. Running right. Tried to get through the hole and unable to squeeze through as Kenneth Murray grabbed him down low. But it's a 4-yard pickup.
Overton in there as well, number 97. And OU is doing a much better job against the run this week than they were a week ago against Justice Hill and Oklahoma State. That defensive line is doing a nice job of standing up the guards and centers for TCU and running down the line of scrimmage.
Second and 6 at the 26. Anderson runs left this time, and he has a first down, but a flag on the play. DJ Ward grabs him from behind, and Anderson is in pain.
Holding. Defense, number 72. At the distance of the goal from the end of the run. First down.
That's Amani Bledsoe, the sophomore from Lawrence, Kansas. First penalty of the game for Oklahoma.
Yeah, but the bigger development is that Darius Anderson is on the ground. He's still on the ground being attended to as he was tackled here late. 87 DJ Ward, he's going to come in and try to tackle Anderson, and as he's trying to grab his feet, there's a lineman that goes down, and then everything gets kind of tangled up, and you can see that left foot was under Ward when he was trying to drag Anderson down. So
Anderson has to be helped off the field. Can't put a lot of pressure on that right side. Huge loss.
Yeah, it sure
for
is.
TCU. First down and goal at the 9. Kyle Hicks returns to the game. And Hill runs it behind Hunt. Hill hits the corner, and Hill dives. Touchdown, no. They say he's out. He's down, rather, at about the 1-inch line.
It's a great ball fake. Got him free, and they'll run up to the line of scrimmage and snap it quickly.
Hill, 212 pounds, quarterback sneak. This time he gets in. Kenny Hill with the touchdown, making it a 24-13 game. And TCU partner needed that.
Yeah, they sure did. You know, in particular after last year, they get Boson ejected on really an awkward call on the defensive side. Then they lose Anderson on that run play. Hill takes it himself, gets down inside the 1-yard line, and then punches across. They need that one badly because OU has the talent and the offensive power to run away and hide, but they did a nice job there getting into the end zone.
Now Cole Bunce will come in and attempt the extra point. He normally handles the kickoffs. Ryan Graff, who came in for Jonathan Song, missed his attempt.
Just making sure he had possession as he crossed the goal line. Certainly looked as if he did. Where that ball was, well, it's hard to tell from that angle, but certainly nothing would tell me that he didn't when he kind of tossed it as he was moving backwards. Great job from TCU. That's a great answer drive and answering some adversity. There you can see the ball, and at that point in control, clearly crossing the plane of the goal line. So answering some adversity, the Horned Frogs with a nice touchdown.
Here's Bunce in for the extra point. First time he's attempted an extra point in a college game, and it's up and good for the sophomore from San Jose, California. 8:32 to go, 24-14 first half in Norman.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, a couple of other top 10 showdowns, including Notre Dame at Miami. Top-ranked Georgia is no longer unbeaten. Plus, Mississippi State did something to Alabama they haven't done since '08. Gus Joel, see you at the half.
All right, thank you very much, Stoner. 24-14, Kenny Hill. Nice job orchestrating the drive for the Horned Frogs. 6 plays, 44 yards.
One of the things that his coach, Sonny Cumbie, talked to us about last night was he wanted his quarterback to continue to fight through adversity. And it's something that he felt he didn't do great at a year ago. But that this year he's had much more fight and tenacity in these big moments. And we certainly saw it on that last series.
Bunce sends it away. And this one will not be returned by Sutton. So Mayfield has done a nice job throwing the football, but the running game has been dominant for the Sooners here in the first half.
Yeah, it sure has. And this is the #1 rushing defense in America. But watch as Anderson continues to be patient at the second level, and Oklahoma gets to those linebackers and gets them blocked. On every one of these plays, whether it's the center, Eric Wren right there, number 58, or a pulling tackle like Orlando Brown right here, 78, gets a block at the second level. Anderson makes a cut. Anderson does a great job of allowing those blocks to happen, getting people locked up and then cutting off of those blocks. And you see what's going on right now. The last 3 games combined, TCU gave up 37 yards total on the ground. Tonight, already 81.
First and 10 of the 25. Mayfield finds Anderson out of the backfield. And Anderson to the 30. Gang tackling led by Michael Epley.
And Epley is the guy that's now in the ball game for Matt Boson. He's Boson's backup. Boson on the last series was ejected after there was a bit of a scrum on a throwback to Baker Mayfield. And so without the 4th leading sack man in the Big 12, Matt Boson, Michael Epley, the junior from Leander, Texas, junior college transfer from Tyler, is going to have to play a big role.
2nd and 4. Empty backfield for Mayfield. Baker throwing up top for Anderson. Oh, he got his shoulders around and made a sensational catch. Rodney Anderson, 24 yards.
What great concentration from Anderson, and to go up and go back shoulder to get that catch. What an amazing job.
Now Mayfield with the sidearm throw to Badette. Jeff Badette will lose 4 yards on the play.
Here's that last catch. Look how he has to adjust and go back to his left shoulder and still get it done. He's in man coverage with Ridwan Isakasu, the strong safety for TCU. I tell you, Anderson's balance, you know, he shows patience in the run game, toughness in the run game,
5-yard penalty,
and the ability to catch it out of the backfield.
70 rushing yards, 70 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. So many weapons for this Oklahoma team, making them really scary looking if they can manage to get a spot in the college football playoffs. 1st and 5 at the 40. Baker Mayfield looking all day to throw. Look at this offensive line play. Mayfield, bang! Andrews down inside the 19. All those big boys up front, Joel Klatt. They need steak dinners with that kind of blocking.
Hey, they'll get them too if they continue that. My goodness, Mayfield just sat back there. He surveyed the whole field a couple of different times. Looking left, comes all the way back to the right. That's when Andrews gets open, creates some space, and gets a completion down the field.
21-yard gain for one of the best tight ends in the nation. His 4th catch. 1st down and 10 at the 19. Anderson has been money inside the red zone running the football. Anderson. And Anderson goes down inside the 15. Rico Evans makes the tackle.
And a great successful run. Maybe not great, but just successful on 1st down. 5 yards. And now you're set up with your entire playbook at your disposal, which is so important in the red zone, in particular against a defense that traditionally stops the run, or at least has in the last few weeks up until tonight. And now Lincoln Riley's got any play at his disposal that he wants.
2nd down and 5 at the 14. Mayfield scrambling, drops it off. Anderson breaks a tackle, 2 tackles. Rodney Anderson again. His 3rd touchdown. 2 rushing, now 1 receiving. Smash mouth OU football. 30-14.
Well, he's going to take on the first tackler, Ridwan Isakasu, and just runs him over, and then no wrap-up from Ross Blacklock, the redshirt freshman. Anderson runs right through it and gets himself into the end zone. Have a night, Rodney Anderson. My goodness.
Anderson, 3 catches, 84 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Seibert, good. Anderson, 8 carries, 81 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. TCU not wrapping up. I don't know if I'd want to wrap up on this guy. Powerful.
Goldhausen fade right, coming down with it. He caught it, touchdown. The Frogs are within 1. Bounces outside, still looking, lobs in zone. He snapped away. The Sooners have escaped. Woo!
And that was Stephen Parker, who broke up that 2-point conversion attempt to seal Oklahoma's 1-point win over TCU 2 years ago. But right now, the Sooners are rolling. 308 yards and 31 points in 24.5 minutes versus the number 6 defense in the country. And the ball fair caught around the 25. There's Anderson. 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving.
This guy got hot late in the season, too. You know, against Texas, he kind of got going a little bit, 10 carries, over 40 yards. But then it was just game after game where he's been over 100 yards. He went Kansas State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State with no less than 111 yards on the ground, and he's doing work here tonight. 8 carries, 81 on the ground, 84 through the air. He's been terrific so far.
Rodney Anderson has rushed for 111, 181, and 147 yards in the last 3 games. Defense, though, starting to step up for OU as well. 1st down and 10 at the 25. And they give it to Hicks, and Hicks is just driven backwards by Devontae Lampkin.
Tell you what, this is the best that Lampkin has played. This is the best that the defensive line has played all year long, really. Now, they have had moments where they've played really good defense, but then you've also seen stretches where they get scored on almost series in and series out. But this defensive line is the key. If they can get off blocks like they're doing right now against TCU, they can play great defense over a consistent period of time. That's been the huge key. Lampkin doing a great job.
2nd and 9 at the 26. Kenny Hill, sidearm throws, and it's caught on the far side by Rager. And he's stopped by Kenneth Murray.
I thought we would see more of those outside screens, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where TCU started to go, because the run game is not successful right now. Darius Anderson got banged up on the last series, so now you're down to Hicks, and you got to find some free yardage, and they got to do that on the outside with this passing game, and Kenny Hill finding these short, quick wide receivers.
3rd and 3 at the 32. Hill underneath, and Turpin secures the ball, picks up a 1st down.
That ball was thrown exactly where it had to be, because Caleb Kelly, number 19, was closing hard in coverage. It had to be low and to the outside, and Turpin made a great adjustment, was able to get the catch and move the chains.
1st down and 10 at the 37. Hill, Turpin with a block, gets through the hole, turns on the burst, and is tripped up. But not until he gains 17 yards.
And that's exactly what they need to start doing. Exactly what I was talking about a couple of plays ago. Let these short and quick, fast wide receivers, and let them get loose on the outside. Turpin gets one crease right there, and he's gone. Kelly was trying to close down. Parker was trying to close down, and Turpin was able to exploit that small gap very quickly.
Gain of 17. 1st down to the 46. Turpin in motion. Hill runs it. Make that Sean Robinson, the backup quarterback, a freshman from DeSoto, Texas, in for Hill. He's got good size, 6'2", 225, and he stays in the game. He's played in 4 games. They give it to Turpin. Jerky move, goes down. As Obo tackles him. Hill, let's see if he comes back in. No, he's going to, looks like, stay on the sideline.
Well, on a 3rd down, I would not expect them to allow the backup quarterback to throw it here in a big moment. So I would create more pressure and create more resources around the line of scrimmage if I was Oklahoma, ready for this zone read.
He's completed 5 of 7 passes. They give it to Turpin on the end around, and he's brought down quickly. Obo Okoronkwo.
Well, when Obo gets loose up from the top and you don't put a helmet on him, he's going to make the play. And he does a great job initially of slipping by that block. That was Cole Hunt, number 81, that tried to get him. And he just kind of slapped him by, got into the backfield, and got Turpin to the ground.
So it looks like the Horned Frogs will go for it on 4th down.
They still have Sean Robinson on the field right now on a 4th and 3.
Robinson was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Texas in 2016. Rated the number 7 dual threat quarterback in the nation by one service.
And they just let the clock run out.
5-yard penalty.
You take the delay of game, leads you to believe they'll just punt it away, take the free, well, it's not really free, but take the extra 5 yards and try to pin Oklahoma inside their 10-yard line.
And OU with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
I don't know. I think I would have gone for it there on 4th down. I understand you don't want to give that offense the ball back with decent field position, but I don't know if field position matters the way that Oklahoma has been playing offense so far in this first half. And with 1:30 left, getting points there, I thought was very important.
Adam Nunez from the 42. End over end kick. Fielded at the 12. Now, don't forget to check out Breaking the Huddle with my partner, Joel Klatt, on Facebook Live Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper. A lot to talk about this week.
Oh, there'll be a lot to talk about. And I encourage everybody to go and check out some of the archives, because the last 2 weeks, I want to give a big thank you to both Oklahoma State and the University of Oklahoma for allowing us to tour their facilities. And we went around on Friday and toured the facilities and saw some of the cool things that they've got over up there at Stillwater, and then the brand new Switzer Center right here at the University of Oklahoma. And they just opened it up this fall. They've done a great job with it. So encourage everybody to go and check out some of that footage and see maybe the best head coach's office in all of America.
That's right. Which facility did you like the most?
1st and 10.
1:16 to go in the second quarter. First down and 10 at the 13.
You almost got me right.
Very good, young man. Mayfield handing it off to Anderson. And Anderson again. 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Nico Small with the tackle.
Boy, this offensive line, they've been so good in this first half. Clearly, Anderson has gotten the bulk of the carries, but this offensive line has done a great job. He has not been contacted at the line of scrimmage much. He's clearly getting free up to that second level, which means that those guys up front are doing a heck of a job. And Mayfield wants to go fast here. He's frustrated with his head coach. He wants a play. They're letting the time go. He wants to go down there and score some points, and number 6 is a little frustrated right now.
Up 31-14. Trey Sermon in the backfield. Here's Mayfield looking. Thought about it. Lets it fly. Woo! 51 yards.
It's all about time in the pocket, though. He had time to double clutch and then get Hollywood open, and he got to take him across the field and not go just down the field. OU calls the timeout, and now they're in business.
In the Huddle is brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Well, in this huddle right now, you're talking about what you need to do. 23 seconds left. You'd like to try to go score a touchdown. They've certainly got the weapons to go do that, but Mayfield has got to be careful with the football. They're right on the edge of field goal range for Seibert. Probably need a little bit more, but with 23 seconds, they've got a few timeouts. The entire field is at his disposal right now.
Remember, Seibert has already made a field goal from 49 yards out, a career high. 1st and 10 at the 31. Mayfield. Draw play. Sermon. And he'll lose yards on this play.
And that makes it even a tougher attempt here. This is going to push this one past the 50 mark. It's going to be somewhere in that 51 range if they were to attempt the field goal, but they'll take a timeout.
Of the half, 30 seconds.
Don't forget, coming up, the State Farm halftime report. Rob Stone leading the guys to talk a lot of college football, some interesting things happening, including the #1 team in the nation going down. How about Ohio State responding to that loss to Iowa last week against Michigan State at home?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about in a big way, too. I mean, that was one-sided, and it was one-sided in a hurry. It's one-sided right now in South Florida as Miami is rolling up the Fighting Irish. Oklahoma doing some work right now, and Georgia already have lost. Bama's in trouble. This is what you love about college football. I will say, I thought on that last play, with a first down and timeouts at your disposal, it wasn't necessarily time to just play the field position. Where does your kicker want to kick it? Even with a timeout here, try throwing the football a little bit down the field. You got great possession guys like Mark Andrews, a speed guy like Marquise Brown. You can always come back and attempt the field goal.
2nd down and 11. Mayfield lines up over the middle. Anderson. Touchdown Sooners. What a game for this kid. His 4th touchdown of the first half. 2 receiving, 2 rushing. And Oklahoma, with 7 seconds to go, hits pay dirt.
Just looking to see if he kept himself above the ground as he was going in to cross the goal line. And it does look, yeah, just a hand, and he's able to get in the end zone. What a half for Rodney Anderson, and just an unbelievable play design from Lincoln Riley. Getting the one-on-one matchup, exploiting it over the middle of the field, and then Mayfield delivers with an accurate ball to the hottest player on the planet, Rodney Anderson.
Well, Baker Mayfield, look at the numbers he's putting up. Oh, my goodness. Mayfield on the day, 15 of 21.
Is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Mayfield, 15 of 21, 299 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks in the first half.
Yeah, just incredible, incredible. And this is against the 6th ranked defense in America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not your middle of the road defensive team. This TCU team came in over their last 4 games, was allowing just over 6.5 points per game and 188 yards. And they're going to take a further look at this. I didn't think that they needed to.
Most points given up by TCU in a game this year.
That's the hand that touches.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown is confirmed.
Yeah, it's pretty clear the first time we gave that replay, so I don't know why they were reviewing that, just taking more time away.
So Anderson with his 4th touchdown. And OU with a 37-14 lead with 7 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wow. OU had 38 points in the first half last week against Oklahoma State. They've got 38 points right now against TCU. This Oklahoma team, folks, starting to look awfully scary. 38-14. 7 seconds remaining as you take a look. Career highs for Anderson. 203 yards total, 4 touchdowns. OU got the ball on their own 13 with 1:16 left.
It looked like they were just going to run the clock out.
Line drive by Seibert. And it will be downed at the 29.
Let's go back to that touchdown. This is a great design by Lincoln Riley. He's going to take the safeties out here. He's going to take the safeties out here. That isolates the middle linebacker, and then Anderson runs right by him in a one-on-one situation. This is just how you, this is football 101. Find the mismatch and exploit it. They're able to do that. Mayfield gives him a ball, and Anderson winds up into the end zone. That's just great job by Lincoln Riley. Excellent job during the week, finding the matchup, finding the defense and the schematics, and then having the timing to call that play at the right time, and then having the trigger man to talk you into going for it down the field. At 43 seconds, he was like, hey, I'm the magic man. Let's go. What are we doing?
That's right. So first down at the 30 for TCU. And they'll be conservative on this play. Kyle Hicks picks up the first down. And that is the end of the first half. Now what a half it was for Baker Mayfield. Mayfield, 15 of 21, 299, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns for Anderson, 2 rushing, 2 receiving, 38-14 Sooners. Let's go to Rob Stone in L.A. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. 38-14. OU leading TCU 5 versus 6. Gus Johnson along with my partner Joe Klatt. JK, this Oklahoma team looks scary. We saw them last week against Oklahoma State in Stillwater. They had 38 points at halftime. Now they have 38 points, but they look even more balanced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and all due respect to Oklahoma State, I mean, that wasn't the 6th ranked defense in America. I mean, and that's what they're doing tonight to TCU. This is very easy for them. You know, they create space. They do a lot of different things matchup-wise, and it's allowed Rodney Anderson to have a big night. Check out what they're able to do, kind of folding their offensive line, bring Orlando Brown around. He gets a block, and then Anderson, he's able to get the matchup with the safety right here. One-on-one, and Nick Orr cannot bring him down. That Anderson, that boy, he can run in the open field, I tell you what. And then his ability to catch it out of the backfield. Check out this concept. Get the safeties to split apart, isolate the middle linebacker, and then Traven Howard is one-on-one with Anderson. Anderson runs right by him. Howard can't get his hands on him. Mayfield delivers a great ball, and it's a touchdown for the Sooners. So they're doing a lot of different things offensively, and right now it's all working.
So Oklahoma also gets the ball to start the second half, and they'll start at their own goal line. Sutton, and Sutton gets close to the 20-yard line. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny Tapp.
Well, guys, Gary Patterson is known for huddling his guys on the field before they head into the locker room. Well, he didn't do that tonight, and I asked him why the change. He said, I cannot hear anything in here, and we have so many adjustments to make. I need to get inside and take advantage of this extra time. Baker Mayfield wanted loud guys, and that is what he's getting. I asked Coach Riley what the message was. He said, I didn't have to say much, but what I did say, if the roles were reversed, TCU is a quality team. We know they're going to come out in a second, and they're going to have something to say.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Lincoln Riley and his offense starts at their own 19, leading it 38-14. On first down, they run the football. And straight ahead, Rodney Anderson, as we take a look at the Geico first half statistics.
I mean, 395 yards of offense against the 6th-ranked defense in America. 96 of them on the ground. Mayfield 299 through the air, and 5 different plays of 30 yards or more. It's been incredible.
Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 at the 24. Mayfield looking. Mayfield all day steps up, wants to run it, looking for the first down, has it and more. Mayfield, a hard stiff arm. Get off me, young man, and out of bounds.
This guy, I tell you what, he plays with that swagger, and every once in a while you get some of that out there. Finding a lane, and then he gets loose. Looks like his leg's okay, and then at the end it's just all flavor.
So they say 3rd down and 1 at the 28. Sermon now in the game at running back. Sermon. And it'll be close. He was dragged down by Traven Howard, but he may have enough for the first down.
Yeah, that was a great play by Traven Howard. Check out Howard. He's able to squeeze down, and then he's able to shoot the gap and get into the backfield unblocked. Samia, the right guard, was unable to get up there and get that block made. And Sermon goes down behind the line of scrimmage. Great sure tackle, wrapping up the feet of the freshman running back.
No gain on the play. 4th down and 1. Opening series of the second half, and now the punt team will come on for Oklahoma, and they'll send it away. 2nd punt of the game for the Sooners.
And they're going to take the official measurement, it looks like, and I think that's what Lincoln Riley was looking at, because it sure looked like he did not get back even to the line of scrimmage, much less get that half yard that he needed for a first down. So a pretty generous spot. He just needs an inch or two, and crowd urging him on, but I don't think it's the time to create momentum for TCU. This is a time to punt the ball away, allow your defense to go out there and build on the quality first half that they were able to play, in particular after a week in which Mason Rudolph and Justice Hill really carved him up. So Lincoln Riley doing the smart thing here, sending Seibert onto the field.
I had a chance to spend some time with Lincoln Riley. Really impressive man to sit down and talk to. Seibert. Turpin. Fair caught. And we'll stay here. Just talking to Lincoln Riley in his office yesterday. First of all, partner, it's the biggest office I think I've ever seen. It's bigger than my apartment in New York City.
I mean, it's 1,200 square feet.
Wow. But he told the story about finding out that he was up for the job, and it was the longest week of his life, and then finally, when he was told that he was going to get the job to replace Coach Stoops, he reflected and said, you know what, I'm ready.
Yeah, and a big reason why he knew he was ready was because the staff was already assembled, and that Coach Stoops had left this program in such a good spot, both in recruiting And the facilities and the revenue that has been generated, and also this roster, which clearly has shown out in this first half.
Kenny Hill back on the field. Here's Kyle Hicks. And Hicks still on his feet, and he's finally taken down by DJ Ward. Will gain close to 7 yards on the play.
A nice quality first down run, and that's what they need to do. They need to start winning on first down and creating situations where Kenny Hill can have success on 2nd and short and 3rd and short.
2nd down and 1. Hill rolling out of the pocket, throws across his body, and it's a reception. It's Jalen Austin making the catch.
Wow.
A 26-yard gain.
That's an incredible catch, and the fact that he was able to, looks like, possibly get that foot down. Oh, right on the sideline right there. That left foot came down. You can see the mark of turf, and they are going to take a closer look at that. Not shocked that they're going to.
The ruling on the field is a catch. The previous play is under further review.
This is going to be a better look. Clearly secures it, has control of the football. And here's that left foot. Boy, that is so tight to that line. Very difficult to see. The turf under his toe was clearly in the field of play. This will be a nice look here. Yeah, that's in.
That's in.
Wow. How about the fancy footwork for Jalen Austin? 4-star recruit. It's a 2-year starter. And the body control and awareness to make sure that he was getting that foot down in the field of play. Excellent job by Austin. It's exactly the type of series that TCU needed here to open this second half. Needed to find some positive momentum.
And this is the Big 12 part.
Yes, so
teams could score points in bunches.
And no lead is safe. And Oklahoma has had this happen not only in this series against TCU, but also during the course of this season. 3 different times this year, Baylor, Iowa State, and Texas, they've had double-digit leads and then trailed in the 4th quarter.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a completed catch stands. First down.
Great job there by Austin, and a nice play design, and that's what 2nd and short gives you, the ability to just roll the pocket, create more of an easy completion for your quarterback. He chose to go down the field. Austin hauls it in, and TCU's in business here.
So Kenny Hill, 1st down and 10 at the Oklahoma 36. Hicks. And Hicks out backwards, hops back to the line of scrimmage. Not much. Kenny Murray stopped.
Now this defense is going to have to play fast, though. TCU right at the line of scrimmage, ready to go.
2nd and 9. Play fake. Hill looking. Throws sideline. Has a receiver. Wow. Turpin. They'll make that. Jalen Austin had the football. He was open, right in his hands.
And Stephen Parker was beat, that safety on the far side. He was given a step, trying to recruit that ball right in the arms of Austin, and he's unable to haul it in.
Perfect pass by Kenny Hill. 3rd down and 9.
Can't throw it any better than that.
Olanalua checks in at running back for the Horned Frogs.
OU needs a timeout. They ran a defensive lineman off, and they only had 10 guys out there.
So with 11:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 38-14, we'll step away. Back after this. Fox College Football is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right. And by Dodge, domestic, not domesticated. 38-14, OU on top of TCU. With 11:17 to go in the 3rd quarter, though, TCU moving the ball well. Opening series to start the 2nd half for the Horned Frogs. 3rd down and 9 for Kenny Hill at the Oklahoma 35-yard line. Olanalua in the backfield. Hill steps up. Hill buying time. Delivers to the sideline for Cole Hunt. And it's an incomplete pass.
Well, just terrific coverage down the field. The protection was there for Hill, but he didn't have anywhere to go. There was a player right in the middle of the field that I thought Hill could have got to, but at that moment is when he decided he was going to try to take off and run and then had to escape the pocket out to the left. And it brings up a 4th down. And the fact that they didn't get any yards means they're going to have to punt that one away. And so a promising drive to start the second half is stopped by Oklahoma. And TCU is going to have to punt it away.
5th punt of the night for TCU. CD Lamb is the deep man, as Adam Nunez will punt it away.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Take that extra 5 yards like they did previous and try to create something for their defense, because this offense for Oklahoma is certainly firing on all cylinders here, and they'll try to back them inside the 10-yard line.
Nunez now will punt from his own 46. Lamb steps up. This one angled toward the corner. Takes a bounce, save from going into the end zone for a touchback. Well played defensively for the Horned Frogs. But coming up, Baker Mayfield and the Oklahoma offense. Mayfield with a terrific first half, and as he's battled wits with Coach Patterson.
Well, they've done it several times through the years. You know, they faced each other when Baker was at Texas Tech, and then now a couple of times as Baker as the OU quarterback. But now this is a scenario where you've got to take care of the football. The last thing that you can do if you're Oklahoma is turn the football over here inside your own 5-yard line. This is when the offensive line has got to take over. If I'm Baker Mayfield, that's who I'm talking to in the huddle, and right now they've got to create some space and get a run to get them outside of that shadow of their own goalpost.
OU has gone 79, 80,
The ruling
69.
on the field is a punt down inside of the 1-yard line. The previous play is under further review.
Tell you what, these replay officials are taking forever to decide to replay these plays. This is one of the big reasons why these games take so long, is these replay officials all over the country are just not efficient with what they want to do. And they've got the TV sports system. They can rewind all the angles that you're seeing here, and clearly not an angle that you're going to be overturning any calls with nothing right down the line. Terrific play by TCU. They're able to down the ball inside the 1-yard line. Tell that CD Lamb was trying, well, I guess I should say debating whether to try to catch that. Took a chance to try to get it into the end zone for a touchback, but that's just a good play from TCU. But again, we've seen this week in and week out now, and this is what is making games painfully long. And this is a replay booth that had no angle to stop this and change anything, but they decided to take forever, then review it, and now everything will stand.
The ruling on the field stands.
And there you go.
First down.
Well, Mayfield and the Sooners will have it at the 1-yard line. But OU has gone 79, 80, 69, 75, 87 yards for scores in this game. And they have the ball at their own 1.
Yeah, and this is, again, this is the moment for the offensive line, right? And then conversely, the defensive line. And those big defensive tackles win the line of scrimmage and possibly force a safety here.
First down at the 1-yard line. Dimitri Flowers in the game. They give it to him. And Flowers knocked backwards. Gets to the line of scrimmage. And first man to him, Traven Howard.
Nice job there by the linebackers, defensive tackles. Did not get pushed back, did not allow a hole. Howard with a sure tackle right there inside the 2-yard line. And, you know, with a guy like Lincoln Riley, I always assume to myself, after a run like that that doesn't go anywhere, you think to yourself, boy, they sold out to stop the run. This might be a time where he kind of fakes that and maybe rolls Baker out and tries to get a tight end with a flat.
And there he rolls him out. And he finds the fullback, Yules. Jackson Yules picks up 5.
Us offensive guys, we don't like beating our head against a brick wall, right? We see them selling out to stop the run. We try to do something off of that. That's exactly what Lincoln Riley was thinking, and he's able to get Mayfield out of the pocket, out of harm's way, get a completion, and now you've at least got a chance in a 3rd and short scenario.
3rd down 4 at the 7. Rodney Anderson back in at running back. Mayfield underneath. CD Lamb, 1st down.
Well, we've seen this time and time again. Gary Patterson trying to create some pressure on Mayfield, and he's doing that by trying to bring pressure. But again, Mayfield is the best quarterback in the Big 12 against the blitz. He's 69%, 9 touchdowns with a rating of 200 against the blitz. He thrives in that scenario, and the reason is because in order to pressure or blitz, you create a vulnerability within your defense, and a veteran quarterback like Mayfield's going to find it and exploit it.
After the 7-yard gain, 1st and 10 at the 14. Mayfield giving it to Anderson. He breaks it back and is caught behind the line of scrimmage. Well done, L.J. Collier, the junior from Monday, Texas, along with Corey Bethley.
Collier came screaming down from that backside, did a great job in not allowing the cutback. There was a little hole there until Collier came all the way back down from the backside, got Anderson to the ground.
2nd and 10 at the 14. Play fake. Mayfield guns it. Incomplete. That one thrown high, intended for, looks like CD Lamb. And that makes it 3rd down and long.
Yeah, it looked like Lamb even slipped out of his break. As he was coming out of his break, he kind of slipped, went to the ground. Thought it was actually an accurate pass, but with Lamb slipping, it just wasn't able to be caught. And now here's the situation that you needed if you were TCU. The opportunity to get off the field. It's still inside the 15-yard line. Obvious passing down.
3rd down 10 at the 14. Mayfield. He'll run it. Can he get 10? Yes, he can. He's still on the move. The Magic Man does it again. Lost it, but he gains 26 yards. On 3rd down and 10, Nick Orr finally brings him down.
And Ty Summers kind of clears out. Watch the linebacker. He's going to head all the way out of the middle of the field, and exactly the time that he does, Mayfield takes off. Nobody there in the middle of the field, and he's able to use his feet and get a 1st down. But this is one thing he's going to have to learn. I know he's a tough guy, and boy, was that ball out? It sure looked like it was loose before he was down. And they can absolutely review that, in particular if there was a clear recovery by TCU in the immediate aftermath of that fumble. That's kind of the terminology, is the immediate.
Is under further review. The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense.
Well, they ruled it a fumble, so at that point, yeah, Michael Jones actually recovers it. So
I don't understand, partner. What's the point of reviewing it?
I have no earthly clue. The 1 yard? I mean, I think the recovery was like, what, a half yard away?
Let's bring in our rules analyst in Los Angeles.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands 1st down.
Okay, Gene, a lot of reviews in this game today.
Yeah, it seems like the replay crew is being overly analytical. That fumble was recovered by the offense, a yard or 2 difference. That's not a significant play. They should just leave that alone. Too many stoppages tonight.
First down and 10. 7:16 to go, 3rd quarter at the 41. High snap handled by Mayfield. He decides to run it, slips. And Baker Mayfield goes down at the 45, covered up by Traven Howard.
You know, what looked like it could have been a huge storyline in this game early when Mayfield got that right leg rolled up on and he was hobbling around and they were looking at it on the bench. It just has not materialized. He's been fine ever since, run the ball 3 or 4 different times for first downs. And on this drive, extended the play on that 3rd down conversion on a long 3rd and 10. And now you're at the 4-minute and 15-second mark on the series.
2nd down and 7 at the 44. This drive started at the 1-yard line for Oklahoma. And fake draw. Mayfield runs it again. And Mayfield gets out of bounds, pushed out of bounds by Ty Summers. Mayfield with some words for some players over there at TCU.
Kind of went in hard and crashed in. Not a lot of room on these sideline areas for not just the players standing there, but also when you're running like that and they have a big kind of communications chest over there for TCU that Mayfield crashed into. But this series, boy, this has been a methodical series and exactly what you're looking for if you're the Sooners. You're up 38-14. You want to take the air out of the ball and continue to make first downs, and they have.
3rd down and 1. Anderson. Oof. I don't think he got it. I do not think he got it. He ran right into the heart of the TCU defense, and they turned him away.
Wow.
Nick Orr.
Well, it looked like Ty Summers was the initial one in there, but then Orr made the tackle. Summers was the man that made the initial hit. Watch Summers 42. He's going to come in there, and he and Anderson have an epic clash. Summers goes down, but then Orr was right there to clean it up and keep him from making that first down. And now Seibert's going to come back on the field for a punt.
Whoa. So Seibert will punt it away from the 36. Cavante Turpin would love to get an opportunity to run one back, but he will not. Fair caught at the 10. 5:02 to go, 3rd quarter. Coming up, TCU with the football. Fox College Football is sponsored by Dell. Don't just play, game. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. 38-14 OU, but TCU with the football as Kenny Hill comes back on the field ready to lead this Horned Frog offense. 5:02 to go, 3rd quarter. Olanalua in the backfield, number 33. Darius Anderson got hurt in the first half and has not returned. Hill pulls it out. Hill with a lane, bounces it outside and picks up a first down.
Nice run from Kenny Hill. Showing a little jukes there. Great read, first of all. He sees the defensive lineman all the way inside. Pulls that ball out, is able to get to the outside, and then shows some moves for the first down. He's going to have to play nearly perfect here during the course of the end of the 3rd quarter and into the 4th quarter if they want to come back and overcome this deficit of 38-14.
13-yard gain, 1st and 10 at the 25. Olanalua running right, slips. Looks like he may have had a hold, but he goes down. The sophomore from Humboldt, Texas. 6'3", great size, 235 and speed.
Yeah, I thought he did have a hole there, and he did just slip. And he's the guy that's got that thump to him, like you said, at 235. Shewo Olanalua in there because this stout defense has been very physical up front. They were trying to go with the bigger back.
2nd and 9 at the 26. Turpin crosses, lines up in the slot up top. Hill over the middle. And incomplete. Well defended. Trey Brown came out of nowhere and knocked it out of Jalen Austin's hands.
I tell you, these young corners for Oklahoma, they are changing this defense because they were not covering a soul for about 3 weeks there. And now they've gone with the young kids, Trey Brown and Trey Norwood, and you see them making plays along with the true freshman Robert Barnes, number 20 at safety. These corners are doing a nice job, unafraid in a big environment to go up there and make some plays.
3rd down and 9 at the 26. Oklahoma showing blitz. Here they come. Hill firing. Hill. Oh, what a grab by Jalen Austin. He waited for it and just plucked it out of the air.
Just a tremendous job by Austin of adjusting a little bit, even with some hand fighting. Look how he's got to kind of go back over, right over the top of his head and get that. That is one of the toughest catches you can possibly make because he's got to adjust his head all the way back in order to make the ground.
That's a 41-yard gain. Now Olanalua. And he's stopped by Marquez Overton.
You know, we've seen this song and dance before, right? I mean, TCU moves the ball down into what I would consider scoring territory inside the 35-yard line, but this is where their drives tend to stall and where the OU defense has been so tough.
2nd and 7 at the OU 30 for TCU. Olanalua pushing the pile forward, churning his legs. And he'll gain 3 on the play.
Yeah, big play here. Big conversion opportunity. Sonny Cumbie right now has got to find the matchup. Where's the matchup where he can get this conversion, stay on the field, and try to march towards a touchdown? They're going to keep Olanalua in the game as well as Hicks in the backfield.
3rd down 4 at the 27. Olanalua in motion. Hicks remains. Kenny Hill in trouble, and Kenny Hill lost it. Sacked. Kenneth Mann in the backfield.
Stop. 3rd down.
Well, Mann with just the power rush on the outside. This is just one-on-one. I want it more, and he's going to come right up the field and get into the lap of Kenny Hill. He's working against that left tackle, Joseph Noteboom, and he's able to get to Hill and get the sack.
And it looks like the Horned Frogs will go for it on 4th down and 12 at the 35.
Well, it's getting down to it. 1:43 left in the 3rd quarter. 38-14 is probably the right decision here.
Hill backing up. Sideline. Knocked down, incomplete. Will Johnson says, not on my side. And TCU turns it over on downs. 1:33 to play in the 3rd. The Oklahoma defense making plays. Time now for an AT&T game break. 38-14 our score. Let's go to Greg Wolf.
Gus, thanks. Number 1 went down. Number 3 in a world of trouble. Number 2, Alabama. Joel mentioned earlier that defense all banged up. The offense comes to the rescue. Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. 26-yard score. Mississippi State had 2 shots at a Hail Mary thanks to a penalty not answered. The Tide survived 31-24. Gus, Joel, back to you.
Well, that's what great teams got to do, right? They got to answer the bell at times, and now you look at the top 4 in the college football playoff rankings, and listen, number 1, they went out. Notre Dame is getting drilled right now in Miami. Clemson, nice win over Florida State. That was close late. Clemson kind of pulled away. Bama survived. So now you're looking at a team like Oklahoma that's going to certainly move up. Miami is going to certainly move up. I wouldn't be shocked if they were in the top 4 after their convincing victory, still being an undefeated team. So a lot of shakeups coming here in college football.
On 1st down, Mayfield runs it. And Mayfield gets out of bounds, chased by Traven Howard. A 1-yard gain.
This is the dimension of this team and offense that I think is different from some other air raid teams. Lincoln Riley trusts this offensive line and this quarterback and this group of running backs enough where he will get into a methodical tempo. And he won't just go out there, you know, the true air raid, the pure air raid, they just go out and sling it around right now, up 38-14. But right now you're seeing that methodical tempo try to limit the number of possessions TCU can get.
On 2nd and 9, Anderson. And Ross Blacklock wrestles him down.
When you're in that mentality, it's almost a milk the clock mentality for a quarterback, but really you're just trying to play on a bit of a methodical pace. As a quarterback, you have to understand it will come down to 3rd downs almost every single series of downs, and you're going to have to make plays. The one thing you have to do is not force the football and take the 1st down with your feet when it's given to you. We've seen Mayfield do both. See how he does here.
3rd down, 4 at the 41. Mayfield. In the middle. Anderson with a catch. And a 1st down. Watch out! Whoa! Rodney Anderson finally tripped up by Ty Summers, but he almost broke that one as well.
Well, you're going to get the matchup again. It's on the linebacker. Anderson goes out there. He beats Howard a little outside in. That route is called a Texas route. You fake into the flat, come back into the middle of the field. Anderson's running some great routes, and he is absolutely playing a game tonight. My goodness. Another conversion for Mayfield. The Sooners are rolling.
Let me go. A secret from Rick's past comes back to haunt him.
Why'd you let him go? What do you owe this dude?
All new Lethal Weapon, Tuesday on Fox.
Start of the 4th quarter as we take a look at the scoring by quarters. Big 2nd quarter for Oklahoma, 21 points, 17 in the 1st. Neither team putting any points on the board in the 3rd. Now we go to the 4th, 38-14. Baker Mayfield with the football, 1st and 10. At the 37-yard line, Rodney Anderson has been brilliant in this game. And they give it to him. Anderson gets to the edge and knocked out of bounds by Traven Howard. Mr. Anderson.
I like that. I see what you did there. Mr. Anderson has had a pretty good night tonight. 100 yards now on the ground, 100 yards through the air. Boy, he has been the focal point of this Sooners attack tonight.
2nd down and 4 rather at the 31. Mayfield, quarterback draw. Mayfield picks up the 1st down, switches hands. Flag on the play, though.
Yeah, they're going to get Michael Jones, the wide receiver. He was holding on the outside as Mayfield was kind of breaking contain.
Had a chance to go into the Oklahoma locker room yesterday and sit next to Michael Jones. What a nice kid, real positive. He allowed me to put his shoulder pads on. They were a little big for me.
You get in the weight room?
Oh, no. Allergic to that, please.
Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down.
Michael Jones, just a sophomore. He was a 4-star recruit. 13 catches a year ago as a freshman. Just 186 pounds. You know, they've done a nice job of mixing up their personnel. They've got a couple of guys, Hollywood Brown, Michael Jones, that are smaller, quicker, faster, and then they've got C.D. Lamb, a little bigger. He's over 6 foot. Mark Andrews comes in about 260 pounds. So they've got ways to beat you in several different ways. Quickness, speed, and then the power of guys like Andrews and even Anderson in the backfield.
2nd down and 7. Here's the option. Mayfield pitches it. Anderson. And Anderson is taken down. Nico Small lost his hat, but still came up and made the play. That's a tough play there for the junior from Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, really nice play from Nico Small. And that just shows you the type of ability he has in the open field. And he did a great job of, if you're a defensive back and you want to know how to tackle, you have to leverage the ball. The way that you do that is you create a second defender for yourself by forcing them towards the sideline. You take away their inside cutback. He did a nice job of doing that, kind of filling inside out and then bringing Anderson down to the ground.
3rd down and 7. Mayfield runs it again. Mayfield breaking tackles. He will not pick up the 1st down. Mayfield getting up, a little hot under the collar. Michael Epley.
You know, I'm pretty surprised right now at this strategy of running Baker Mayfield several times here on this drive, because this guy does not have any slide in him. He thinks he's 250 pounds.
Yes, he does.
When he's running, I mean, like, honestly, he's trying to truck everybody on the field. He's already had his shoulder banged up, and now Seibert on for a long field goal attempt.
From 48 yards, he made a 49-yarder, a career high earlier.
Oklahoma calls their first timeout.
38-14. 12:44 to go.
There is no foul for Joel.
Fox College Football is sponsored by USAA. Show your appreciation this Veterans Day using hashtag Honor Through Action. By Duluth Trading, tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen. And by eBay, fill your cart with color. And welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma, 38-14. OU 8-1, their only loss, Iowa State. TCU 8-1, their only loss, Iowa State. Iowa State beating the Sooners here in Norman. And now, Rodney Anderson in the backfield with Mayfield. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 3. Baker looking underneath and incomplete. And Oklahoma turns it over on downs. Intended for Dimitri Flowers. And we'll take a break. 38-14. Let's see if TCU can get something going right after this. And welcome back. Time now for the expectation-shattering drive of the game, sponsored by Buick.
It was late in the first half, and it looked like OU was just going to run out the clock, but then Mayfield kind of coaxed Lincoln Riley into going for it, hit the big ball down the field to Marquise Brown, and then he found Anderson in that one-on-one matchup with Traven Howard. They were able to get a touchdown right before the half going in.
Here's Hill underneath. And this is caught by Turpin. He turns it up, picks up a first down. Devontae Turpin's tackled by Overton, who had to track backwards to get him.
Yeah, and that's the type of play that I was expecting coming into this game. First down, throwing those bubble screens out, allowing these guys on the outside to work.
And Hicks stood up and driven backwards. Easy job for Okoronkwo, who's done a nice job today defending the run.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. And this is the type of guy, he's got elite athleticism, really as a pass rusher, but when you put him in a chase mode with a run away from him, he is dominant as well.
2nd down and 11. Kenny Hill looking, taking his time, throws on the move, and caught. Diarce, big reception, and he'll get to the Oklahoma 6. Robert Barnes with the saving tackle. That's a 50-yard gain.
And they just lost him in coverage. He was running across the field, did a great job finding space, and then Hill kept his eyes down the field.
First and goal. They snap it and give it to Kyle Hicks.
Nice job by that defensive line up front. Another big stop. Just have not gotten that run going, and this is a team that really was predicated on running the football and allowing these short yardage situations to be easier for their quarterback, but that hasn't materialized during the course of the day and has become much more difficult for them to run the ball as they get inside the 10-yard line.
2nd down and goal at the 7-yard line. Hill, the fade in the corner. Diarce, incomplete, but a flag. Trey Norwood will be called for interference.
Now Norwood is trying to compete here. That's a tough matchup. Diarce, 6'1", 215 pounds.
Holding against an eligible receiver. Defense, number 13. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Yeah, left hand, it was kind of down there on the jersey, and Diarce did a great job of winning at the line of scrimmage. When you can put that defensive back near the end zone in a chase mode early, the human nature is for him to reach out and grab the jersey. That's what happened. Norwood didn't like the call. I thought it was a good call there.
So 1st and goal at the 3 for TCU. A lot of time left. 10:48. Kyle Hicks, the single setback with Kenny Hill. Hill, shovel pass, and a touchdown for Kyle Hicks. TCU refusing to go away. 38-20.
What they do here is they get this defensive end coming up the field, and then Kenny Hill takes that, and you get the underneath shovel pass. Great job by that left side of the offensive line to get all the way blocked up. The double team, the linebacker gets blocked, and it's an easy touchdown for Hicks. The key there, Hill did a great job of attacking that defensive end, forcing him to make a decision, take the quarterback, and then he pitched it underneath.
And the Horned Frogs will go for 2. Hill looking, in trouble. Hill lets it go, and incomplete. Taj Williams, the intended receiver. Hill under pressure. 10:44 to play in the 4th. The Horned Frogs continuing to fight. This is not over. Gaylord family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Welcome back to the Palace on the Prairie. 38-20, TCU scoring. 10:44 to go. And Oklahoma will get a chance to return. Jeff Badette. And Badette knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 15. Let's go to Los Angeles and check in with Greg Wolf.
Gus, thanks. You guys mentioned earlier, number 3 Notre Dame getting blown out by 7th-ranked Miami. Here's DJ Dallas, gets to the edge, dives for the end zone, gets in for the 4-yard score. Made it 34-0 Canes. Notre Dame finally on the board, but they trail 34-8 fourth quarter. Gus, Joel, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. 10:40 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Well, beating that crow on the Miami Hurricanes. There's no doubt about that.
Can't get them all right, partner. You can't get them all right.
That team's for real.
The previous play is under further review.
Well, when they let us know what they'll be looking at, we'll let you know.
Didn't they just kick off?
Yeah, you know, the way that play ended, there's a possibility maybe that there was some head-to-head contact, potentially maybe a targeting issue at the end as they were kind of going out of bounds, and yeah, it's tough to tell there.
Jeff Badette returning with football.
Yeah, that's safety Garrett Wallow, it looks like, number 30. But he didn't actually make contact with Badette. He kind of goes into the back of Alana Lua. He's in there on special teams. And
There is no foul for targeting on the play. The TCU player hit his own teammate with the crown of his helmet. First down.
well, this offense, you know, they've been shut down, at least out of the end zone in this second half. They've gained some yardage, but they just haven't had that same rhythm that we saw in the first half. We'll see if they get aggressive here, try to start putting the ball in the air, or if they want to be content with an 18-point lead and try to grind this thing out on the ground.
Baker Mayfield, 18 of 26, 333 yards passing, 3 touchdowns as Anderson runs it. Ran into Coach Bob Stoops at halftime, Joel, and he looks great, in shape, positive. So happy to see what's happening with the Sooners. And there he is with his wife Carol, both retired now.
Look at how nervous he looks, right? I mean, it's like he's still coaching. That's what I love. I mean, you can tell that he still loves it. He left this program, Gus, in such a good spot. And he should be commended for that. How many times do we see a guy walk away just a little too late? And this one might have been maybe a year or two too early.
Mayfield hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Michael Jones. But here's a question for Coach Stoops. 56 years old. A lot of big-time jobs could be opening. Florida is open now, as well as Oregon State. Remember, he was Steve Spurrier's defensive coordinator at Florida. Nebraska, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Arkansas could potentially come open.
You know, candidly, I don't see it. I think that if he was going to still coach, it was set up for him to have so much success here. I think he would have done it here. And I think he walked away. And while it might be hard this first year, I think that Coach Stoops is going to be out of coaching now and enjoy the golf course.
3rd down and 8. Mayfield in trouble, and he's sacked. Second sack of the day. This time it's L.J. Collier. And I will say this, Joel, I talked to his boss, and I don't know if that's necessarily true.
His boss meaning Carroll. I think they were looking for a horse collar there because Mayfield was kind of tugged down by, looked like the back of his jersey a little bit. Tough to tell. That's what they were looking at, that right hand of L.J. Collier. That's close. He did not rip him down. That'd be a tough call. Officials decide to let it go.
Seibert punts out of his own end zone. This one off the side of his foot. Takes an Oklahoma bounce forward and goes out of bounds at the 45. 8:58 to go, 4th quarter. TCU with great field position. A touchdown here will make it interesting. And there have been some superstars that have competed in this rivalry. Fox College Football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. Horned Frogs back on the field, down 38-20. But they've been moving the football here in the second half. Touchdown here can make it interesting. They'll take over with great field position at their own 46. Kenny Hill sprints out of the pocket, sets up, and incomplete. That one overthrown, intended for Kyle Hicks.
Good pressure by DJ Ward, getting out into the face of Kenny Hill, made it a much tougher throw. Hill had to adjust the angle of his arm and just unable to get that ball to Hicks. Caleb Kelly was there in coverage, but this defensive line has played really well. I think this is the best game so far that this defensive line has played this year for Oklahoma. In a big moment when they needed them the most, they have shown up and done really well.
2nd and 10. And a handoff to Hicks, and Hicks just can't get even close to the line of scrimmage. That defense coming up big. Devontae Lampkin, we've been calling his name all night.
Yeah, and Lampkin does a great job. Here's Lampkin, and he's going to fight through the blocks. He's done great at this nose guard job. Watch him fight through the blocks. He gets off. He presses him off with that left arm, and then he makes the tackle in the backfield. He has been strong. He's been fierce, and then he's made tackles when he's needed to.
Lampkin, the perfect size for nose guard. 6'4", 335. 3rd down and 11. Hill. And incomplete. Jalen Austin just couldn't get to it. Ball thrown high. And 4th and long.
And they're going to have to stay on the field and go for this. And just don't think that they're going to punt it. I guess they're going to punt it with 8 minutes, 18 points away that this game is gone. I thought that they would keep their quarterback on the field. But boy, Mike Stoops has got to be thrilled with the way his defense has played. Maybe the most complete defense. He's right in the middle there, kind of behind that post in the press box, but this is clearly the most complete game his defense has played all year long.
Lamb. Fair caught at the 15. 8:01 to go, 4th quarter. 38-20. Back after this.
Well, here are some of the guys that I think are in the race for the Heisman Trophy. Jonathan Taylor, I don't think he gets the love that he probably should for Wisconsin. He was great today, 157 yards. Last night, Bryce Love was terrific, over 160 yards. And then Baker Mayfield, clearly in the lead right now for the Heisman Trophy, has done nothing tonight to diminish that standing. 18 of 27 for 333 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. And he is on a fast track to a trip to New York and possibly taking down that hard way.
First down and 10 to the 15. And it's Anderson running, and he gets outside, picks up a first down, hits the sideline, cuts it back in, and goes down. At the 40, Nico Small with the tackle, a 26-yard gain.
He has shown a little bit of everything. The ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, the vision to find the backside cutback lane, the speed to get outside, and then the power when he needs to run over a player at the first down marker and move the chains for his offense. Anderson has done it all tonight. He has been sensational, and the entire game plan, you can tell from Lincoln Riley, was centered around number 24. Not his Heisman quarterback, number 6, or Heisman candidate quarterback Baker Mayfield. Although Mayfield's been great, they wanted to get the ball to Anderson in several different ways, and he has made them look smart doing it.
17 carries, 130 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. As Anderson goes forward. We ran into Baker Mayfield yesterday, folks. We had to do a report, and usually we don't have an opportunity to talk to the players when we get into town, which is normally on a Friday. The Oklahoma coaches cut it off on Tuesday, but we ran into him. We had a chance to chat for a little while, and as we parted ways, Joel said to Baker, "Don't think about that trophy." And Baker kind of looked at you, Joel, and kept walking.
Yeah, that look kind of like, I've been thinking about it for 3 years.
Exactly.
What do you mean, don't stop thinking about it now?
Second down and 9 at the 42. Anderson. And when you talk to Baker Mayfield, you watch him play, the magic of things he does on the field, you just get the feeling that it's not in his head, it's in his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is one of those rare competitors that thrives in the big stage. His teammates love him. I mean, both sides of the ball absolutely love him. Love the swagger that he brings to the table. Love the fact that he challenges the fans to be electric tonight, and they certainly were, in particular in the first half. But he makes so many great throws. He's got great arm talent, and he's certainly rocketing up NFL draft boards during the back half of this season.
Third down and 8. They run it with Anderson, and Anderson picks up another first down. Stays in bounds, wrestled down by Traven Howard after a 19-yard gain.
You know, this is just one of those things where a linebacker gets a little bit outside of his gap, and when that happens, Anderson makes him pay. Watch Ty Summers. He's not blocked, but he gets outside of his gap, and then he can't replace it. He can't get back there. Anderson exploits it, makes him pay, and moves the chains.
Anderson, a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. That brand that he has on his left arm is one of the iconic symbols of the Qs. Q Psi Phi. First down and 10 at the 39. Anderson. And he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Ty Summers on the bottom.
Well, this drive has been executed perfectly. One from Anderson, but also Mayfield, just in a clock management mode. When you're in this situation, this is milk the clock territory for Lincoln Riley in this offense. So Baker Mayfield, while they don't huddle, he's managing the clock. We see the play clock right now at 20. He will not snap this ball because the game clock is running until he gets inside of about 4, maybe 3 seconds on that play clock. And that's management from the quarterback. That's one of the things that makes him so special.
Second down. Here's a snap. Anderson. Gain a couple. Let's take a look at the road ahead for Oklahoma, sponsored by Coors Light. To the climb ahead and the celebrations to follow. Climb on.
Well, you can't take anyone for granted, in particular on the road. I understand that it's just Kansas, but if you go up there and just take care of business, then it creates another really big home matchup against a team in West Virginia that, you know, is uniquely suited to match up well against Oklahoma because they've got Will Greer and that explosive passing game. That's one of the things that Oklahoma has struggled with at times during the course of the season is teams that can line up and throw the ball with them. So that'll clearly be a great showdown as OU tries to head to Dallas in that Big 12 championship game.
3rd down and 8 at the 37. Anderson hit behind the line of scrimmage, but a flag on the play.
It looked like there was kind of a hold right in the middle of that line of scrimmage. Big number 71, Bobby Evans.
Holding offense, number 71. The penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Ennis Gaines, number 6, was trying to blitz right up the middle, and Bobby Evans just kind of grabbed him and threw him down to the ground like a wrestling move. And it's the call, and that sets up another 4th down. We've had so many of these at this awkward territory. They're out of field goal range. Don't want to necessarily punt it. The clock is dwindling down. I think you punt this away. Try to pin him inside the 10-yard line, and in an 18-point game with 3 minutes left. Boy, that is long odds if you're a TCU Horned Frog.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So they'll give Seibert a little bit more room to work with 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining.
I'll tell you what, partner. If I was any defense in the country, the last team I'd want to see is Oklahoma. I know they haven't scored in the second half, but they have clearly been in a different mode in this second half. What we saw in that second quarter last week against Oklahoma State, I mean, my goodness, the explosiveness with which they play, it's uncommon.
Seibert sends it away, and this one takes a big bounce and is down to the 1-inch line. How about that? All 3 phases of the game. Parnell Motley downing the football. And with 2:55 to go, TCU will start deep in their own territory.
Well, this is certainly a resume builder for Oklahoma, as TCU came in 6th in the country, 8-1, only loss at Iowa State. They've been playing some great football, in particular on the defensive side, and that's one of the things that I think is going to be most impressive on Tuesday night to that committee, is the fact that TCU in their last 4 games have been playing such great defense, and for Oklahoma to be dominant in the first half offensively, I think that's going to carry huge weight. And the big question was around this unit on the field, the defense, and they have certainly shown up and played very well.
1st down, Hill, and incomplete on the far side, intended for Rager. So if Oklahoma is able to hold on and win this game, based on what we're seeing in college football today, with the #1 team in the country falling, Georgia, looks like Notre Dame is going to lose to the #3 team in the country. Oklahoma and Clemson at #4. Oklahoma destined to move up.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you wonder if the committee will jump Miami over it. Is that a possibility?
I think certainly a possibility with how dominant Miami has been in their win over Notre Dame, 48-8, inside of a minute. They're undefeated, and 2 big tests that people didn't think, me included, didn't think that they would clear was that Virginia Tech game last week and then Notre Dame this week, both down in Miami, and they have done that. So, but even if they do, Oklahoma is clearly one of the 4 best teams in the country, and they have proven that. And the question was completely surrounding their defense, whether their defense could be dominant. While they maybe haven't been dominant, they have been very consistent tonight, and they've done a great job against TCU.
Here's Hill running, and Hill gets a 1st down as he covers up and goes down at the 15, make it the 16. Hit hard, Kenny Hill, as Gallimore got him again. Overton as well.
The biggest difference that I've seen defensively tonight, it hasn't been necessarily schematic, but the effort which they're playing.
Hill hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Jarrison Stewart just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, and a smart play by Stephen Parker, because Stewart was in an awkward position, clearly defenseless, and Parker was coming up from his safety position and had an opportunity for a big hit and didn't take it. Remember last week, Will Johnson was ejected for a targeting. Parker was certainly in that spot and did a nice job avoiding contact.
2nd down and 10. Kenny Hill, and incomplete. White, the intended receiver, that one thrown way high, and that brings up 3rd down and long.
So the changes we've seen defensively tonight. The corners, Trey Brown, Trey Norwood, both freshmen. They've come in and played really well for Lincoln Riley and Mike Stoops. Robert Barnes, the safety, a freshman. And then they simplified the scheme a little bit. They got Neville Gallimore back at the defensive tackle position, so they got more stout at the defensive line. That allowed Okoronkwo to play a little bit faster, and then they've been covering people better down the field. That's a recipe for more quality defensive play.
3rd and 10. Kenny Hill steps up, delivers, and this is Alanalua, and he won't go very far as he's wrapped up again by Devontae Lampkin. Kenneth Murray also in on the play. 4th down and 4.
By the way, another freshman right there, Kenneth Murray. Now, he's been a starter since the beginning, all season long. This guy's one of the most talented players out of the freshman class in all of America. He's been a starting middle linebacker for the Sooners all season long. He's done a nice job. Came into the game with 48 tackles, 3 for loss, and he's played a great game tonight and been a key component in Oklahoma being able to hold this rushing game intact for TCU.
And a timeout called by TCU with 58 seconds to go. 38-20, 58 seconds left. And the Horned Frogs will punt. Nobody back for OU, and ball down at the 35-yard line. Our Dickey's performance of the game goes to Mr. Anderson.
This guy's been so good tonight. Rodney Anderson, 151 rushing yards. Great inside and outside. Maybe even better on the outside catching the football, though, because that's where he really hurt TCU. 5 catches, 139 yards, 27.8 average for 2 touchdowns, accounted for 4 touchdowns in the night. He's been sensational, folks. First player with 130 plus for both in Big 12 history. So a historic performance for Rodney Anderson tonight in what was the biggest game of the season so far for Oklahoma. A game in November, the championship month, when they needed it the most. He was at his best.
Mayfield takes a knee. And here's my question for you, JK. Did Baker Mayfield win the Heisman Trophy tonight?
Well, he certainly didn't do anything to hurt that cause. He came in with a pretty wide lead. Bryce Love was great last night. I understand, and with all due respect to David Shaw, who was pleading from a soapbox for his player last night after the game. Number 6 right now is the best player in America. He leads the best offense in America. And he, by a wide margin, is your Heisman frontrunner.
The Magic Man, Baker Mayfield, 18 of 27, 333 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He carried the ball 11 times for 50 yards. No picks. And the standings in the Big 12 now. OU 6-1 in the conference. Their only loss coming to Iowa State. TCU 5-2. Oklahoma State had to survive in Ames. 5-2. And West Virginia, don't sleep on the Mountaineers.
Yeah, but TCU owns that tie break, so TCU still controls their own destiny to get to Dallas and rematch potentially with these Oklahoma Sooners. But tonight was more about the playoff than it was about that Big 12 championship, because now TCU is behind the 8 ball, but Oklahoma, they are staring a playoff berth in the eye. All they got to do is take care of business.
All right, let's go downstairs where Jenny Taff is standing by with Coach Riley.
Gus, thanks so much. Well, Coach, Baker Mayfield continued to dominate tonight, but you've got guys like Rodney Anderson, Marquise Brown last week. The offense as a whole is clicking. How impressive was it tonight?
You know, they played well, especially the first half. We got on a good run against one of the best defenses in the country. proud of how we played there, but the story tonight's how well our defense played. You know, they allowed us to play conservative in the second half. We've been hearing all about that. Our guys answered the call against a good offense tonight in a big-time game.
That's what Obo had said to me earlier this week. We need a complete performance from our defense. Is that what you saw?
Yep, we got it tonight. They were awesome. Had some young guys step in there and play well. Had great fight. Really, really proud of our defense. They certainly led us to the victory tonight.
Championship November. You're controlling your own destiny. What's next for this team?
We just got to keep battling. We're getting better, like we tend to do this time of year. And so, you know, there's still a lot of things that we got to do better. We'll look forward to getting back at that. Kansas next week, and then back here for West Virginia.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. 38-20, the final score. OU defeats TCU. We'll be back with more post-game coverage right after these messages. 38-20, the final. Oklahoma improves to 9-1 as they knock off 6th-ranked TCU here in Norman. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt, just a complete performance on all three sides of the football for OU.
I love what Lincoln Riley told us right there before we went to commercial. He was most thrilled with his defense. You know, there's clearly some offensive performances that we're going to talk about, but the defense really was a great story for OU because that was the big question mark really for the College Football Playoff Committee. They were wondering if this team was going to play consistent defense, and they did that tonight.
Well, there were some good offensive performances
Let's
as well.
get to that, right?
A couple of guys in particular, Mr. Mayfield and Mr. Anderson.
And I love it. You come up with these.
That is the sound of inevitability.
It feels like that offensively for them. Mayfield was terrific, always efficient, 330-plus yards. This is the type of guy that is he's kind of like a conductor, you know, and we talked about that with J.T. Barrett earlier in the season, but this guy, he distributes the ball, he executes the game plan, and tonight that game plan was getting the ball to Rodney Anderson. He did that beautifully. When he needed to make a big play down the field, he was able to do that, accurately throwing, beating the defense right there in a one-on-one matchup to Anderson over the middle over Traven Howard, and then the game plan, though, wasn't really about Mayfield. It was about Rodney Anderson. It was about him running the football. It was about getting him in matchups in space in the passing game, and he delivered. I tell you what, for a guy that wasn't really the featured back coming into the season or even in the first month of the season, he has burst onto the stage and just been terrific in the month of October and now going into November.
Anderson, 23 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 catches, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Against the #1 rush defense in the country, folks, right? Those are not just random 150 yards on the ground. I mean, he did that against TCU, leading the nation coming into tonight.
So Anderson with a great game, Baker Mayfield with a great game as well. And moments ago, our Jenny Taft had a chance to catch up with the Magic Man.
Bigger all season long, the theme around this team, you want the Big 12 championship, you want to get to the playoff. Well, 2 of the 4 teams in that current playoff standings, they went down tonight. What statement was tonight's performance?
It wasn't about anybody else in the country. It was just about us. You know, we had a great challenge in front of us. TCU's a great, great program. They have a great team, and we just came out and we asserted ourselves tonight. We played well and rose up to the challenge, and so it was all about us. And that's what we keep saying. We control our own destiny, and other things will fall into place. We just got to worry about ourselves.
What can you say about the performance from Rodney Anderson tonight? Over 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards receiving, only the 3rd player in school history to do that. Spot back injury.
Yeah.
What'd you make of his night?
Rodney's an incredible player. I mean, he's finally getting his time to shine, and he's getting better each game. And so I'm very proud of him. He's a guy that works really hard, and it's just his results are starting to show, and he's just going to get better and better as the years go on.
I got to ask you, you're calm, you're confident in this setting, but on the field, the swagger, what you bring to this, do you expect to be in this position?
I do. You know, I think the standards and the tradition around here, it's expected to be right here and where we're at right now. So I think it just comes with the territory. I'm enjoying the moment. You know, like I said, we control our own destiny. We're having fun with that right now.
And the fans showed up.
They did. Kudos to them. I mean, they made the difference tonight, and defense showed up as well. We played great. It was a good win.
Best of luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Jen. So your final thoughts on this win by the Oklahoma Sooners?
I guess when the 6th-ranked defense comes in and you put up those types of yards, and hey, this is what we expect to do at Oklahoma. I mean, my goodness, right? That was pretty calm for a guy. He clearly is comfortable in his own skin. He's comfortable being the Heisman front runner. And this team is dangerous. I mean, very dangerous. And watch out, because this team, like I said earlier in the broadcast, they are staring the playoffs directly in the eye, and that seems to make them better. You know, as the season has gone on, they've clearly upped their game on offense, and clearly tonight did that on the defensive side as well.
So up next, Kansas on the road, and they'll wrap up the regular season against West Virginia here in Norman. 38-20 the final score. Oklahoma defeats TCU next Saturday. We've got another great game lined up for you. We will be at Camp Randall Stadium to bring you the Wisconsin Badgers taking on the Michigan Wolverines. That wraps it up from here in Oklahoma. For Joel Klatt and Jenny Taft, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long.